in this mad business with many highs and many lows. A character outside the ring that we've all fallen in love with, but it's our respect that he craves tonight. Opportunities have come and gone, but none more greater than this evening. A win in any fashion opens the door to the biggest names in the heavyweight division. However, these are the type of hurdles that in the past Dave Allen has fallen short of. Will tonight be different? Will tonight be his moment? This is Fight Night Live on talkSPORT.
Arslanbek, the Lion, Makhmudov!
Makhmudov lands another right hand. Oh, a short uppercut for Makhmudov.
Makhmudov, that's him on the left, wrestling with an extremely big bear in the woods.
The Russian, it says he wrestles bears and he takes sledgehammers to the stomach in
do you not do
preparation.
that? Is this not the guy that fights or spars with bears?
I've seen the video.
With bears?
Well, he can wrestle with bears, but he's never been punched by a rhinoceros.
It's a barrage of action from Dave Allen.
I fancy beating Makhmudov, as scary as he is. He's going to fight my fight, and I don't think anyone can beat me at that.
He wanted to be the main attraction, and David Allen delivers.
Tune into my fight with Arslanbek Makhmudov this Saturday on talkSPORT.
We are live at the Sheffield Arena for the big one tonight in the heavyweight division between Dave Allen and Arslanbek Makhmudov. The build-up has been ferocious throughout the whole course of the week, and tonight the crescendo will play out in front of 10,000 mad Yorkshire fans. I'm Adam Catterall. It is a pleasure, as always, to be in your company for these big live fight nights, and always by my side for these big moments, the one and only Mr. Gareth A Davies. There is something in the air tonight. Is it going to be Dave Allen's big night?
It needs to be his big night, Adam. It's a roll of the dice in some ways against Arslanbek Makhmudov, because he was seen as the beast of the heavyweight division a couple of years ago, in which he was seen as the guy that would come and challenge Anthony Joshua, Alexander Usyk, Tyson Fury. He suffered 2 defeats. He's still a very dangerous character. This is a high-risk, high-reward, big-name opponent for Dave Allen, who, let's be honest, has had great times and bad times in his career. Brilliant victory over Lucas Brown in the past, defeats to David Price, Dillian White, Luis Ortiz, Fraser Clark of late. But there's a thing about him. He's become the people's champion. He's become very popular. People were unhappy that he lost that, as we were, lost that first fight to Johnny Fisher in Riyadh. He knocked Fisher out in the rematch earlier in the year, and his stock has risen enormously. He's 6 pounds lighter than when he fought Johnny Fisher 6 months ago. He's in phenomenal shape. We believe in him tonight, but he's up against a man mountain. It's all set to be a brilliant main event.
What are you personally putting down the resurgence of Dave Allen down to?
I think it's that self-belief, the feeling. Everyone around him says it's having young kids and being a happy family man, finding maturity at the age of 33, seeing why he boxes, why he wants to box, how he's in love with the game again. He's trained really hard. He looked skinny in one photo, but I've seen him tonight. He's a very deceptively big man. He's 3 years younger than Arslanbek Makhmudov. He's a very dangerous guy he's up against tonight. He picked the hardest opponent who he could choose from Eddie Hearn, who gave him a short list of 5, but he knows that if he wins tonight, he projects his resonance, he projects his name into bigger fights. They're even talking about Deontay Wilder. This is a very, very tough ask, because against Makhmudov, he either gets to you or you get to him. He's been stopped twice, but he stopped 19 of his 20 victims. Dave's stopped 19 of his 24 victims, but he's been stopped 4 times himself. Never been knocked out, but I think someone gets stopped tonight in this fight.
Makhmudov himself is in a bit of a sticky situation, isn't he? Because a couple of years ago there was a big aura about him, a lot of people talking that he could be the next big thing in the heavyweight division. He runs into Ajit Kabayel. Kabayel does a business on him. Now listen, Kabayel's one of the top 3 heavyweights on the planet right now, but it's the Vianello defeat that maybe people are grabbing hold of right now. He is in a sticky spot. If he comes here tonight and loses, he can kiss any dream of becoming the heavyweight champion goodbye.
You're right, he's outside the top 10 right now. Dave's ranked number 8 by the WBA sanctioning body, by the way. That's how much people believe in the noise that they've created around him. The thing is about that Guido Vianello defeat, as you rightly mentioned, he was outboxed for 8 of the 9 rounds and then stopped in the 10th by Guido Vianello, who's a 6'6", 260-pound man from the United States, a former sparring partner of Tyson Fury, who he had great rounds with before the Deontay Wilder fight. Dave has to meet fire with fire tonight. His game plan is going to be so intriguing. Does he match Makhmudov pace for pace early on? Makhmudov comes out of the blocks. Does Dave need to go with him?
We're going to pick this up a little bit further on in the evening. We've also got a great fight between Junaid Bostan and Bilal Fawaz. They went at it first time around in January. Controversial draw. Well, they're rerunning it this evening for this Sheffield Faithful, and you'll be able to catch all that live on talkSPORT. We're on the talkSPORT Boxing YouTube channel as well. We are streaming right now. You can get stuck into the watch along. You might be able to hear in the background there's a fight currently going on between Josh Padley and Reece Bellotti. They're about to enter the final round, so let's get to our commentary team of Spencer Oliver and John Rawling to call through the final 3 minutes.
Thank you very much, Adam. Good evening, everybody. Josh Padley, who came to prominence when he came in as a late substitute against the WBC lightweight champion Shakur Stevenson. That was in Riyadh back in February, and he gave a really good account of himself, Padley, but eventually being stopped in the 9th round. Tonight, he's dropped down to super featherweight against Reece Bellotti, who comes from down south, born in Watford, nickname of Bomber, and he's been the busier man in the earlier stages. Bellotti built up, for me, a fairly substantial lead by halfway, but Padley, strong, determined, roared on by his Doncaster public, has come back in the latter stages.
Yep, he has come back, Padley, in the last couple of rounds, but you feel that Reece Bellotti built up a very strong early lead. Yes, the rounds were competitive, but Bellotti was getting the final say. And as we go here in the 10th round now, Padley's legion of supporters are trying to get behind him. They know he's possibly behind, and they're trying to get one last hurrah, and he's going to need something big here in the last round.
Well, he surely needs this last round, and lands a chopping right hand into the increasingly bruised face of Reece Bellotti, who's got marking under both his right and left eyes. Referee Bob Williams gets between them, separates them on the far side of the ring, and it may well be down to this final round. The two land simultaneously, a left from Padley and a left inside from Bellotti, who, interestingly, Bellotti has looked the more effective infighter in this contest. But it has been fascinating, and Bellotti lands a good right on the ropes right in front of it. Padley fights his way back, right hand and the left hand, and this legion of supporters who've come down from Doncaster to the Sheffield Arena here, urging Padley on.
Yep, 1 minute left in this 10th and final round. Padley trying to find something from somewhere. Clinches in the centre of the ring with Reece Bellotti, who's got his head on Padley's chest, and he's trying to just work away. Big left hook there comes in from Bellotti as well. Misses wildly with another one.
Yeah, it's what we expected from the last round. Both of them are throwing the proverbial kitchen sink in there. Left hand from Padley was a good shot, catching Bellotti as he charged in, and Bellotti is marking up more.
Yeah, he is marking up under the right eye. Now there's a big swelling, both guys getting to... Right! Step back. A clinch again, the referee splits them up. Bellotti stalking forward, looking to find something, misses with a left hook. Padley happy to tie up inside.
Into the last 10 seconds, Bellotti comes forward, throwing left hands and right hands towards the head of Padley, who drags him down into a clinch in what will be just about the final move of the fight. Bellotti congratulated by his corner, Both men give the body language of fighters who believe that they've won. Both of them punching the air, feeling that they've done enough to take this on points. Tell you what, it could be very close, this.
Yep, couple of first rounds, you get subjective scoring, what you go for. For me, I thought the extra work, the extra hustle from Reece Bellotti was winning in the rounds. I've got him a clear winner here, 97 to 94. Both guys were giving it their all right from the opening bell, but for me, Bellotti doing the better work in those early rounds to build up a big lead. As I say that, Josh Padley walks around the ring, raising his hands to his legions of fans. They're happy with it, they think he's done enough. This is going to be, you're right, John Rawling, this could be razor tight, this one.
I think it's very tight. Formerly was a fitter of solar heating panels, Josh Padley. He's packed that in now to become a full-time fighter, and he said, give me a proper run into fights and you'll see another man. I'm ready to show you what a fighter I really can be. Well, has he done enough? It's an anxious wait, really is. Spencer's got it by 3 rounds for Bellotti. I've got it closer to level. Very little between them, in my opinion.
Yeah, going to be interesting to see which way the judges have gone here. Bob Williams, a referee, standing in the centre of the ring. Josh Padley there with him, and Reece Bellotti walking around the outside of the ring, asking people what they think. I think he's done enough for him, Bellotti.
Well, we'll see. Gareth's with me. He's got it a more level fight than on your card. Admittedly, we were talking about other things in the latter stages of that contest, so maybe not watching it quite as judgmentally as we should have been doing. But I got the impression that definitely in the second half of the fight, Padley increased his work rate and was landing clear scoring shots. Here we go.
Of action, we go to your judges' scorecards. Steve Gray scores the contest 99-92. Jean-Robert Lane and Pavel Cardini score the contest 97-93. All three in favor. By unanimous decision, your winner, Josh Padley!
Well, there you go. It's a subjective game, this one. Steve Gray scoring it 99-92 in Padley's favour. We gave it an absolute landslide. I had it very close. Spencer had it to Bellotti, and I know for a fact, Gareth, that the Bellotti corner are shaking their heads in disbelief at some of that scoring.
Yeah, it does seem very odd. It's Reece Bellotti definitely. I had the first round to Padley, but Reece Bellotti had 4 or 5 very good rounds then. Padley came back into it much closer than that, Adam.
98-92. What was that? Listen, we're going to pick the bones out of that, no doubt, at some point this evening. We've got a great fight on the way with Junaid Bostan and Bilal Fawaz, and then obviously the main event tonight is Dave Allen versus Arslanbek Makhmudov. That's coming to you live from Sheffield, but don't forget there's another fight going on this evening over in Philadelphia as Jaron Ennis makes his debut at 154 pounds. He's taking on Wisan Lima, and you can watch that live tonight only on DAZN.
Boxing updates on talkSPORT with DAZN, the global home of boxing. Sign up now at dazn.com/boxing.
controversial. They scored in a draw officially. Well, they're going to run it back, and they're going again very, very shortly live here on talkSPORT. Junaid Bostan, who was a guest on our show last week, taking on Bilal Fawaz for the English Super Welterweight title. All set for an absolute cracker. This is Fight Night Live from Sheffield. I'm Adam Catterall, Gareth A Davies alongside me. We're here because Dave Allen is taking on Arslanbek Makhmudov, the biggest challenge, without any shadow of a doubt, of Dave Allen's life. When I say that, the biggest challenge, he's been in with some big challenges. He just hasn't got over the line with the big challenges. Yeah, but it would be his biggest win, is kind of where I'm going, if he manages to pull it off.
Look, would Arslanbek Makhmudov beat Fraser Clark? Would Arslanbek Makhmudov beat David Price, Lewis Ortiz or Dillian White? They're all massive fights if they took place. He's that kind of name with all those other names that Dave's faced. But he's always gone in it against those other guys as the fall guy, as the guy that's meant to lose.
Yeah, good point. Good point.
And the point here is, for the first time in his career, he's the man. He's the guy that got the arena erupting when he walked in tonight.
Well, they built it against Lucas Brown, didn't they? But I get what you're saying.
No, that was a huge night for him. But Lucas Brown, Makhmudov would wipe out Lucas Brown. I don't think there's much doubt about that. It was a great left hook to the body in the 4th round or 3rd round. When that was the moment in Dave Allen's career when he signalled that he had something. Self-belief against a guy that's held a version of the world title. But this guy, because he's suffered through 2 defeats, has slid down the snake in the game of snakes and ladders, and he's not a considered potential world champion anymore. 2 years ago, before the losses to Guido Vianello and Ajit Kabayel, and we know how good Kabayel now is, probably number 3, number 4 in the world, Makhmudov was seen as an ogre, a beast, the guy that was going to tame bears, the guy that was going to knock out Tyson Fury or beat up Alexander Usyk. But he's been lessened in some ways, so there are chinks in his armour, so you can build a case for Dave Allen. But it's a narrow case. This is a massive gamble, but a gamble that puts him in big name, big money fights if he can get the victory tonight.
Spencer Oliver, if I could bring you in, you've been across this throughout the course of the week, interviewing both of these gentlemen. What have you picked up, man?
Yeah, listen, I think that Dave Allen recognises that he wanted that big opportunity, he wanted that big fight, hence why he picked Makhmudov. You know, it was one of those challenges that he said that he needed to get up for at this stage of his career. The change in his newfound love for boxing comes from the children that he's had, you know, the stability he's got in his life, the focus now. He's rediscovered the love for the sport, you know, teaming up with Jamie Moore and Nigel Travis has been a brilliant team up as well. You know, I think they've got a real family unit up there in the gym, and he's enjoying it right now, but he also recognises that victory here puts him in an unbelievable position. He's bought a new house now, talks about the ensuite bedroom that he's got, and he likes that life. He likes that, and you know, we've always known that Dave Allen has had a lot of talent, but we've seen him when he lost back in 2019. He had that good win against Lucas Brown, then he lost to David Price, and you looked at it and go, perhaps, you know, that he's not going to reach those heights. The motivation has now gone, and from 2019 he was trickling along, wasn't he, like you know, boxing on small hall shows against, you know, not particularly good fighters, journeymen, picking up the odd win here or there, looking a little overweight. Then he got that huge opportunity against Johnny Fisher as the opponent, going in as the opponent, and he pulled off what? Myself, Gareth, I think you was on this ship as well.
Yeah, I think he won by a point. I think they're not down one at him.
Yeah, but we thought he won that. We thought it was disgraceful scoring by the judges, and he got the chance to right the wrongs of that. And he's done it in sensational fashion, and that's where he's at right now.
But it's funny how life works in that it made him very popular because everyone knew he was a winner, but he was a loser on the night on the judges' cards. It caused great controversy. The rematch was then created. At the end of the day, Johnny Fisher is a novice prospect.
Yeah.
But Dave did a number on him so brilliantly by knocking him out in the second fight. Everyone felt the wrongs had been righted. His popularity grew. His popularity grew because he lost on that night when Fury and Usyk fought for the second time. And it's strange how life projects you onto the big stage sometimes, and that's what's happened for him.
Right, I've got the same question. I'll give one to Spencer and I'll give one to you. I'll come to Spencer first and foremost then. What does a win tonight do for Dave Allen? Where does it put him?
Sets him up for a huge fight, and I think that's where he's looking at. You know, right now, at this stage of his life, this stage of his career, what is he? He's 28 fights in, he's 33 years of age. He wants the big fights, he's chasing the big money, you know, and I think that fight could be someone like a Deontay Wilder. Eddie Hearn's talked about making those matches. He said that he could deliver those matches. You know, Deontay obviously is looking for the big fights with Anthony Joshua, etc., etc. But a big win here for Dave Allen could put him in that sort of position with a name of that sort of calibre.
Well, I don't disagree with what you're saying and what Eddie Hearn has said. I spoke to Shelley Finkel earlier today, and he said there has not been a word of discussion, and that's Deontay Wilder's co-manager, former manager, of course, and lawyer of Mike Tyson, that there has not been a word between Matchroom and Deontay Wilder and Eddie Hearn and Shelley Finkel about the Deontay Wilder fight. I'm not saying that they couldn't make it happen. In my view, and I spoke to Shelley about this, Deontay Wilder wants a fight with Anthony Joshua in Africa. That's the fight he's after. But Dave Allen puts himself commercially into a very big fight if he wins tonight. This is the biggest night of his boxing career.
Okay, well, let's flip it, because we spoke to Arslanbek Makhmudov this week, and he was talking about the prospect of fighting Anthony Joshua. They've had a DM exchange. Is that realistic for Makhmudov, should he be victorious this evening?
Yes, the matchup works in that way, because Makhmudov does belong in the top 15 in the world, in my view. Top 15, top 20. Even though Dave is ranked number 8, Dave Allen number 8 with the World Boxing Association, he's not really, he's probably in the top 30 heavyweights in the world, not the top 15.
And here's the incentive for both of these guys. You know, we interviewed both of them and they both mentioned those names. Dave Allen mentioned the, you know, the possibilities of a Deontay Wilder fight, and Makhmudov said, you know, he's been DMing with AJ and AJ's promised him that. Could you imagine that incentive? If that's not enough to get you up and try and, you know, get a victory, you go, that's life-changing money we're talking about here against the bigger names of the division. So both guys will recognise a win here catapults them right up there in that sort of position. A loss is quite difficult to come back from. Makhmudov, if he loses to Dave Allen, where does he really go? The aura's gone, and for Dave Allen, has the gravy train then stopped?
We'll pick this conversation up about heavyweights again in the not-too-distant future on the show. Don't forget, we've got a fantastic fight for the super welterweight English title coming up with Junaid Bostan and Bilal Fawaz. If I could just bring in John Rawling for a split second there.
Yes, I am here.
No, you're here to call the fights, and we're going to get you on there to call the fights in a minute, John. But I just want your opinion on the scoring of that last fight, because it did feel like it was extremely wide in one favour towards Josh Padley, 98-92. It didn't feel like that type of fight.
Yeah, well, I think Padley was really done a bit of a favour by the judges to score it 99-92, as I think Steve Gray had it. I found absolutely extraordinary. You know, I mean, I was saying, and Gareth was agreeing in the latter stages of the fight, that it was close. Spence had it a little bit wider, but really, for it to be as substantially in Padley's favour as it was, I found a bit baffling.
There's an announcement going on in the ring right now, of which hopefully we could get a little bit of sound on, because it's going to be a tribute, I believe, to Ricky Hatton.
Around the world. Tonight we pay tribute to the career, the courage, and the legacy of the hitman Ricky Hatton. In recognition of his extraordinary contribution to the sport of boxing, we observe the 10-bell salute. Thank you, Ricky, for the memories, the battles, and the heart you gave to the sport you love.
A wonderful tribute here at the Sheffield Arena towards the hitman Ricky Hatton, whose funeral took place yesterday at the Cathedral in Manchester. you could just hear from the fans here, even across the Pennines, this man not just united his own city, but he united the whole country, and he put boxing on the map in the late 90s and early 2000s.
Very, very moving time for everyone involved. One of the most popular figures, certainly ever in the time I've been involved in boxing, and probably in the last 60 years, alongside Sir Henry Cooper, Frank Bruno, even more popular than any of those guys. And you can just hear the love and feeling for him. And yesterday I thought it was very touching. His daughter Millie, her speech yesterday, the love for her father, the unconditional love, and they're talking about she will never, he will never witness her having children, finishing uni, finishing school. So touching, an amazing turnout for an amazing person, Adam.
Listen, it's a horrible situation to be in, but I thought the family put on an unbelievable tribute to Ricky yesterday. God bless him. And as many people said in their eulogies, there really is only one Ricky Hatton. More of that throughout the course of the week, no doubt, as those tributes pour in to the hitman. Tonight, we concentrate, obviously, on that main event of Dave Allen and Arslanbek Makhmudov, but our immediate attention turns towards the super welterweight division. The music's currently playing for Bilal Fawaz as he's making his way to the ring to challenge for the English title, of which we're going to call through that fight in a moment or two with Spencer Oliver and John Rawling. But first time around, Gareth, this man can be classed very unlucky that he didn't get his hand raised and snap all that title the first time around. I thought he, down the second half of the fight over 10 rounds, did enough, maybe, just to have got the nod.
Yeah, against a very skilled and very tough Junaid Bostan, 14 years his junior at the age of 23. The thing is about Junaid Bostan, I think he's got all the qualities to become a world champion, but Bilal Fawaz has world champion belief about himself. Very physical man, very strong. As you can see him in front of us here, very muscular, great tensile strength, and he bullied Junaid in that fight at times. I think Junaid is the slight favourite tonight, but there's no doubt that Bilal Fawaz will bring it all again. I expect Junaid to have learnt from that. A lot of people thought it was a loss. Obviously, as you say, it was a draw. Judges were split, but it was a terrific fight, and I expect a great one tonight.
Spencer, you've been in this position before as a young fighter. Sometimes a little bump in the rod, a little reality check is a good thing for a fighter. It wakes them up, gets them realigned, and gets them back on the horse.
Yeah, absolutely. I had that conversation with Junaid Bostan, you know, talking about that, like, you know, maybe thinking you've just got to turn up and you lose your way a little bit. You know, your fights are going your way and you're starting to get that hype train behind you, and you can lose your way, and sometimes, you know, that it's a kick up the backside that you actually need to get back to the gym, work hard and rediscover that hunger and recognise that there's difficult opposition in front of you sometimes that you know you have to deal with. Fawaz is that guy who's very, very strong, very powerful mindset as well. His background, Fawaz, where he's come from to get on this journey has been quite incredible. That's enough, you know, to make you hungry, to make you want to achieve. And that's where Fawaz is at. But for Bostan, this is all about tonight. We find out if he's as good as we think he is, or whether he's met his match in Fawaz.
I think what he did, I think he underestimated Fawaz last time, and I think, like you just said, you intimated that. That was his wake-up call. He's a super confident kid. He knows he can become a world champion. We've all talked about the qualities he's got. He underestimated him slightly, and he paid for it in the last fight. I think he'll come out differently this time, Adam.
It felt last time, and we've kind of had this conversation between ourselves, haven't we, that, like you said, he underestimated his opponent, maybe cut some corners in training camp because he struggled down the back end of the fight. It's going to be really interesting to see, one, how he approaches this, and two, whether we get to round 4, round 5, what version of Junaid Bostan we get. I want to see a guy that goes through the gears tonight.
Absolutely. Listen, he's had his issues outside of the ring as well. You know, he's been suffering a little bit with having to deal with certain situations. He says that mentally maybe he was not as strong and where he should have been. He's over that now. He recognised that he's been working in the gym with Grant Smith, Dalton Smith's father. They've been working hard. They've stripped it down. I've been in that gym, actually, and they're an old-school outfit. You know, they do it the old-school way. And, yeah, he says, look, no talking this week. You'll see what I'm going to do. You'll see what I'm going to deliver. And now is his opportunity.
Well, both men are in the ring. We're about to get this one underway. It's for the English super welterweight title. Still to come later on, Dave Allen versus Arslanbek Makhmudov. As you know, as always, when we are live in any arena, we're also live on the talkSPORT Boxing YouTube channel, where you can get stuck into the watch along. You can watch us calling through these fights tonight live here in Sheffield on a night that's packed with action.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're live on the zone and we're all set to go for our chief support bout of the evening. Eddie Hearn and Matchroom Boxing present 10 rounds for the English Super Welterweight Championship. The action is sponsored by Betfred, Drip, Riyadh Season, Tom Life Insurance, That Prize Guy, and Everlast. This bout is sanctioned by the British Boxing Board of Control. Steward in charge is Suzanne Potts. Your 3 scoring judges at ringside are Phil Edwards, Steve Gray, and Bob Williams. Your timekeeper is Anthony Rushton, and your referee is A-star referee Michael Alexander. And now, introducing first, fighting out of the red corner. He weighed in at 153.6 pounds, wearing white, gold, and red. He has a record of 11 fights, 9 wins, 1 defeat, and 1 draw. He's the former Southern Area middleweight champion from London, Sugar Bilal the Machine Fawaz. And his opponent boxing out of the blue corner. He weighed in at 153.8 pounds, wearing camel green and white. 11 fights, 10 wins, 1 defeat. From Rotherham, Bostan.
Right, lads, you both know the rules, so let's just have a good, clean fight, OK? Most of all, remember to defend yourselves at all times, all right? Touch gloves.
There you have it, the introductions done and dusted. The main event still to come between Dave Allen and Arslanbek Makhmudov live on talkSPORT. But right now it's all about super welterweights, and the English title is on the line. It's the rematch between Junaid Bostan and Bilal Fawaz, and calling you through it, Spencer Oliver and John Rawling.
Round 1. Thank you, Adam. The action underway. The two very similar in stature. Bostan officially half an inch shorter, but when they stood face to face during those introductions and before, he looked as though he might be slightly the taller man. Fawaz, as ever though, is in absolutely wonderful physical shape. Looks, from a visual point of view, such a strong guy.
Yeah, he certainly does, and he is a strong guy. Fawaz, who's holding centre of the ring, holding his hands up high, trying to draw Bostan in early here. Bostan doing the right thing, just keeping the space between the two hands. A lovely right hand over there. Fawaz takes that shot well, but what a shot there from Bostan, who started this one very sharp.
Yeah, that was a beautifully timed shot. A little chopping right over the left-hand lead of Fawaz, and establishing an early, very early, dominance and scoring shot advantage to Bostan, the local lad from Rotherham, and got a lot of support here in this crowd tonight. Rotherham just a matter of a mile or 2 down the road.
Yep, nice sharp start here from Bostan as he pushes Fawaz back to the ropes. Fawaz again holding centre of the ring, holding those hands up high, trying to draw Bostan in, but Bostan clearly got the hand speed of these two, and you feel Fawaz is going to have to try and draw him into some form of dogfight here, because the better boxing. Lovely 1-2 there from Bostan as well.
Another good scoring right hand. Fawaz, Nigerian born, now based in London, has not really landed anything too meaningful in the opening couple of minutes of this fight, and Bostan using the advantage of maybe a slight reach advantage, but he's found a way through that peekaboo guard of Fawaz with a couple of really solid clubbing right hands.
Yep, sharp timing is very, very good from Bostan, who throws a lovely 1-2, switches the left hook into the rib cage there of Fawaz as well. Fawaz trying to pushed forward, trying to find something from somewhere, not really landed anything in this opening round. Bostan had a great start as he roughs Fawaz up there as well. Referee Michael Alexander calling them both to the centre of the ring. He's going to try and get a grip of this one, John.
Yeah, he'll have a word to the pair of them, and Fawaz is the one getting more of a talking to from Michael Alexander, and this so far looks like it's shaping up to be a clear opening round for the younger man, the Rotherham man, Junaid Bostan. He's just waiting for Fawaz to commit himself, and Fawaz, in all honesty, has shown very little attacking inclination in this opening round, and there's a right hand around the back of the head from Fawaz, which the referee saw, and he just tells him off for that one, says, come on, let's keep it clean, and that's clearly an opening round to Bostan.
Yeah, good opening round that from Junaid Bostan, who landed some good shots. The timing was on point. He found the range with the jab early on, and then he started finding the range with that right hand. Bilal Fawaz spent too much time holding his hands high. He wasn't moving off the line, walking forward in straight lines. Bostan had clearly come with a game plan, and it worked for him in the opening round. But like the last contest, John, there were a lot of twists and turns. Bostan had a good start to the contest, but Fawaz come in late.
There's going to be a long way to go, and Fawaz, we know, will have his moments. He sure will. But Grant Smith is a shrewd man, the trainer in Bostan's corner, and he'll have studied the tapes, studied what happened in the first fight, and has he learnt from it, and has he now got the tactics right for his man as the second round begins?
Well, the answer to that is yes, because what he'd done in that first round was perfect. He kept the distance, kept that space, timing was good. He had to step in just half a step to get off with his shots, and Fawaz was left wanting. He couldn't find the range himself, a little bit slow off the mark. So Grant Smith definitely come with the right tactics here.
Yeah, a bit of a shaky start so far from Fawaz. Needs to get into this fight. The faster man, the man with the greater hand speed and the greater accuracy, clearly in that opening round, was Bostan. Fawaz tried to come back with a round arm right hand there over the left lead of Bostan, but doesn't get there. He does get in with a right hand now and taunts Bostan with a nod of the head, as much as to say, yeah, there I am, I can throw it, and I am in this.
Yeah, Bostan has to be careful here that inexperience doesn't take over and he gets drawn into a fight, because Fawaz, that's what he's trying to do, draw him in. He recognises his disadvantages, and that would be in the speed department. Fawaz is talking to him, taunting him, trying to draw him in, and Bostan is starting to take the bait a little bit here, and maybe sitting there a little too long, John, and he'll get greedy and get caught doing that.
All his other fights, Bostan, have been victories, apart from the draw against Fawaz earlier this year, and there is more attacking intent from Fawaz in this round. A left hand, right hand into the head of Bostan there, with scoring shots. The back comes Bostan, turns the left hand lead into a hook of his own, and then gets in close, and the referee has a good look at him, allows the action to continue as they fight out of that clinch.
Yeah, Bostan has to be careful, as I say, doesn't get drawn into a fight too early on, because that's Fawaz's game. He seems to be the stronger of the two in that department. He's just wiped his eye and swore into the crowd there. I think that he may have picked up some sort of damage over the right eye. It'd be interesting to see that one. Was there a clash of heads? I think there was, John.
Well, it's difficult to see because he gets his gloves so high. There's a right from Fawaz out of a crouch. Is there a little bit of a nick around the corner of the right eye? Maybe. We'll see closely when we go into the corners between rounds. Fawaz misses uncomfortably with a big right hand, but then comes back with a left, which was a scoring shot. Bostan switches his attack to the body, and there was a left hook from the Yorkshireman, which was also scoring on target. I don't think there's anything too bad around that right eye, Spencer.
Yeah, may have picked up a little nick. It'd be interesting to see, John, when they get into the corner, but he's got himself back together again now. Fawaz stalking forward, making Bostan work when he doesn't want to work. Bostan winning the round, by the way, moving around the perimeter of the ring, picking the shots well. That was a better round for Fawaz, but Bostan, for me, still winning it.
Well, let's go into that Fawaz corner and hear what's being said. We're having a look, and there is a bit of marking around the right eye.
Slip counter is working, okay? But you need to touch first, you understand? It's on my back. That cut is nothing. Bilal, that was a beautiful round. Listen to me carefully, Bilal. When you go in, you need to go tight hand, close the gap, and then fire. Don't fire out of range. Okay. We know what to do. He's getting tired now. We know what to do. Okay. He's getting breathing heavy on that. He's already got away from his game plan the first round. He's already going for it. Just keep doing what you're doing. Keep doing what you're doing. And don't leave no gaps, Bilal. Come on, let's stay tight. That's it. Okay? Just keep it tight, okay? When you get close to him, hit that body hard, bring your hands straight back.
That's interesting stuff. Kelly Case, well-known cut man, working away to a bit of damage, seemingly, above the right eye of Junaid Bostan.
Yeah, I think there was a clash of heads in that round. That's when we saw Fawaz screaming to the crowd. I think that he may have come out all right, and Bostan might be the one that actually picked up the nick, but Fawaz, they're very happy in that corner. They're saying the game plan is working. Just keep pushing forward. Draw Bostan into a fight, and that's pretty much what he's looking to do here at the beginning of this third.
Yep, fighting out of the southpaw stance, Fawaz, and in comes Bostan, also with a right-hand lead, and you might have heard the shouts from Fawaz, almost roaring at his opponents, as much as to say, come on, you're going to have a go, you're going to have a proper fight.
Yep, he's trying to draw him in, isn't he? Bostan can't take the bait, he has to keep it long. He's got the edge in speed for sure. Referee Michael Alexander breaking him up again and having a word with Fawaz. Want to let him get on with the action here, because it is good action when it's happening.
Bostan now standing tall, trying to work behind an orthodox left-hand lead now as Fawaz reverts to orthodox stance as well. And now there is definitely some blood seeping into the corner of the right eye of Junaid Bostan, the Rotherham fighter, in this English super welterweight title contest. Vacant title that they fought before. First time it was a draw, a controversial one, and now they fight for the title.
Yeah, blood trickling down the right side of Bostan's face now. Fawaz just landed a lovely left hook on it as well. This is good tactics here from Fawaz, who's drawing Bostan in. Bostan has to be careful he doesn't lose the game plan himself and sit in the pocket too long. Fawaz again stalking forward. Bostan with a right hand to the body. Nice little shot that was.
Just the impression that maybe the more rugged, the tougher fighter could be the older man. Bilal Fawaz, the Nigerian-born Londoner, and he lands with a solid straight left as I say that. Bostan looking a bit disorganised as he backpedals, but then lends a left hand to the body. This is going to be a fascinating contest. We're only in the third round, scheduled for 10 for the vacant English title, and a lot of twists and turns to come.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we're going to see a lot of character, or they're going to have to show a lot of character, both guys here, because it is rough. We've seen the build-up to this one. No love lost between these two. Genuine dislike, and I think they've taken off from where they left off. And as I say that, oh, big right hook there, and Boston's legs have gone. He's in desperate.
He's almost down. He's almost down, and Fawaz is going after him desperately, looking for another big headshot. He lands one. Bostan holds on and sees the bell to end the round. But what a round that was for Bilal Fawaz, and Bostan goes back into his own corner like a man who'd had 14 pints.
John, he was walking back to the corner and totally lost his way and started walking towards the neutral corner, and Grant Smith has had to come and grab him, drag him to his stall. The legs were all over the place, doing a dance. I'm not sure a minute here is going to be enough to
Let's
recover.
get into that blue corner and hear what they're telling you.
You opened up and tried to have a fight. Stop doing it. You're on side head again. All right?
Keep the hands a little bit higher on tempo.
Watch. You've got to lower your legs, Junaid. You've got to lower your legs and you throw single jabs. Are you listening? Don't get up till I tell you. Don't get up till I told you. Right? Yeah? Right. Let's go.
Grant Smith is trying to buy a little bit of extra time in that corner, and I think a bit of old school training wrinkles there as he didn't put the gum shield in, and he gave him a few more seconds to recover. But Fawaz straight away is going looking for the youngster, and now they really do believe that they can knock him out.
Boston's in desperate trouble here in the opening. Fawaz opening up with big shots. 1-2's going in. Boston tries to roll under them, but he's in trouble here. Fawaz piling under pressure. Boston has to come back with something. Big uppercut goes in as well.
This is good work from Bilal Fawaz, throwing so many shots. Maybe it'd be wise just to choose his punches a little bit more wisely and look for accuracy rather than sheer volume. A couple of right hands go in, and an uppercut from Fawaz, and a right cross, and nothing back from Bostan, but then a body shot from Bostan, and he holds on with a little bit of an air of desperation as Fawaz has dominated the first minute of this fourth round.
Yep, Bostan now trying to take the fight to him, sitting in the pocket, lands a good left hook, listen to the crowd, try and get behind Bostan, who's under immense pressure, and Bostan then comes with a right hook to the body as well. Has he recovered, Bostan? Is he trying to pull himself back into this one, draw himself back in?
Not impossible that the judges might have scored that last round 10-8 in Fawaz's favour. So dominant was he, with Bostan looking close to being knocked down and maybe knocked out at one stage, and now he uncorks a couple of big shots, looking for headshots, big two uppercuts through the guard of Fawaz, who's trying to close him down, and now lands a clubbing right hand under left hand, and another one, and another, all from Fawaz. Great action. Fawaz dominating in that toe-to-toe exchange. They could put this one in an old-fashioned phone booth.
Yeah, right above us here, the action. Bostan piling on the pressure here. Fawaz taking some big shots to the head, uppercuts as well. He's trying to fight off the ropes. This is a real old-school ding-dong. Bostan again, big left hook.
And the referee telling him to watch his action. Bostan to keep his action legal. But back comes Fawaz with a right into the body. Looks for an uppercut, was short of the target. But I tell you what, Bostan's come back really well in this fourth round after having a pretty torrid time in the third. And he's forcing Fawaz back onto the ropes. Referee pushes him back and says, let's keep it legal. Bostan misses with a massive attempt at a left hook in the last few seconds of this round, and what an effort that from Bilal Fawaz.
Yeah, it really was. I think that Bostan come back, listen to the crowd. Bostan trying to get them to get behind him. He done well to recover. The way he was so badly hurt in that third round, he come back, met fire with fire, and it was actually Fawaz that looked like he'd blown a gasket towards the end of the fourth round.
Brilliant instinctive war-like characteristics from Junaid Bostan in that round to get himself back into the fight. He almost ignored the advice of Grant Smith, which was to stay in the fight. He pinned Fawaz here on the ropes for an entire minute and a half, and he fought his way back into the fight. There's a case that Fawaz might have even punched himself out. What an incredible fight.
Certainly is a very good one. We're here in the fifth round now of a 10-rounder, and it's a real ding-dong, and the crowd are identifying with every moment of this. Left hand from Bostan, the first scoring shot of the round. Back comes Fawaz, trying to throw shots towards the body of Bostan, who lands a solid left-hand lead. The crowd is living every moment of this and applauding, of course, loudly everything that Bostan does. But believe me, Fawaz is still right in this fight.
Yeah, both guys standing in the centre of the ring, neither man wanting to give up any space. Bostan, again, big left hook. Fawaz trying to match it with a shot, body shot from Fawaz. Bostan comes back with a right hand.
And the two of them land headshots. Better work from Fawaz now. And he switches the attack to the body. Clubbing left hook there. then a straight left from Bostan, which rocked back Bilal's head. Bilal lands a right hand under left hand to the head, and he's trying to steal the ground of Bostan, trying to command centre ring and give the impression of the man who's dominating.
Big right hand there from Bostan, followed by a left hook. The crowd again going wild. Fawaz pinned on the ropes. This is heroic effort here from young Junaid Bostan, who's showing us one thing we found out about him tonight. This kid has got character. He was badly hurt in the third round, and he's turned this around. 1 minute 30 seconds to go in this fifth. What a round we've got.
At 23 is the younger man by 14 years, Bostan, and he pushes Fawaz back onto the ropes just in front of us. Referee Michael Alexander keeping a close watch. He comes from this part of the country as well. Did a bit of boxing himself a few years ago, round about the same time that the man to my left, Spencer Oliver, was boxing, although he was a little bit bigger than you, I think.
I think everyone was pretty much bigger than me, but Michael Alexander, yeah, he'd been in with a lot of good fighters over the years. He was one of those guys that travelled up and down the country. He knows the game inside out. And a big right hand again there from Fawaz, but look at the response from Bostan as he steams forward.
There is so little between them here. First one man dominates, then the other comes raging back, and we're in the last 30 seconds now of the fifth round. I gave the opening round to Bostan, next 2 rounds to Fawaz, and an argument that the third could have been scored 10-8, and then the Rotherham man I gave the last round to. So if they were all 10-9 rounds, I'd have it level.
Yeah, interesting. Bostan, I may have 1 round up, but it's one of those fights, John, it's what do you go for? Again, and as I say that, Bostan has Fawaz pinned on the ropes, the bell goes, both guys still want to continue. The referee, Michael Alexander, breaks them both up. What a round of boxing.
Michael Alexander showing that he was not afraid of those guys there.
But early on he was stepping in a lot to separate them, and now he's seeing what kind of dogfight it is. He's allowing them to be very rugged. The seesawing doghouse, roughhouse action back and forth is just so thrilling. One man is going to have to acquiesce at one point in this fight, but we do not know who it is yet. But I do wonder whether the younger man will eventually win through based on those 14 years of the guy his senior.
It's Junaid Bostan against Bilal Fawaz for the English Super Welterweight title. All part of our build-up to the main event here on talkSPORT, the home of boxing. Coming up later on, Dave Allen against Arslanbek Makhmudov.
Yep, fascinating first half of the contest there. I've got Bostan maybe 1 round up. Going to be interesting to see how this second half goes. This is going to become a mental battle as well as physical, as both guys lock horns again in the centre of the ring. Good solid jab there from Bostan, and switches the attacks underneath as well. Fawaz happy to stay there though.
Yeah, but he's not thrown too much in the opening seconds of this round though. Bostan standing taller, now switches the attack to the head, but it comes back with a right hand. Fawaz, fair play to Bostan though, he takes it well. Right hand, left hand from Fawaz, left hand, right hand to the head, and Bostan now has been more on the receiving end in the latter stages of the opening minutes of the 6th round as we've moved into the second half of the fight.
Both guys again banging heads together. Bostan pins Fawaz on the ropes. Fawaz does a good job of turning him, working well on the inside here, Fawaz as well. Short uppercuts are working. Double left hook back from Bostan.
Could be important. How did you score that last round?
Well, I had Fawaz winning that one. I've got it 3 rounds to 2 here, and it could quite easily be the other way in Bostan's favour.
It's a tight one, that much we do know. Although, having said that, we thought that fight between Josh Padley and Bellotti was tight as well, but the judges gave it emphatically the way of the local man, Josh Padley. And now Junaid Bostan is hoping maybe the Rotherham man that he's going to get something similar.
Well, he's just edging Fawaz out in this round. He's the one that's on the front foot. He's taking the centre of the ring, double jab, right hand, left hook to the body, goes underneath the elbow of Fawaz. Fawaz tries to respond, but gets caught with a huge left hook there, takes that shot well.
He's got a great chin as Fawaz. He certainly does take a shot because he switched attack from body to head then brilliantly, Junaid Bostan, and you could have seen a lesser man with a more vulnerable chin being floored by that left hand, but Fawaz just blinked and came through it and kept on throwing leather.
Yep, showing a lot of character. Both guys simultaneously land shots there. Bostan maybe have come off the better, and as I say that, the gumshoe come out from Fawaz, and he's trying to pick it up and put it in his mouth. He wants to get back on with the action.
Well, we've got an interesting one here because Michael Alexander clearly shouted stop boxing, and Bostan continued and landed a big shot, and now Michael Alexander is reading him the riot act. He knows what happens, he knows what the Rotherham lad did, and he says quite emphatically, stop it, I won't stand for it.
Yep, and rightly so. He did call break. You have to box to instructions, and I'll say that. Fawaz lands a big right hand through the middle. Bostan takes it well, comes back with double hooker himself, and again the guys go for it. Bostan pushing Fawaz down. Fawaz turns him lovely there. What another brilliant round of boxing we got there. How do you split this?
Hell of a round that, Gareth, because, you know, you thought somebody was coming on strong, and then the pendulum swung.
I've got this fight even now at 3 apiece. I mean, it's so hard to separate them right now. The pendulum is swinging more than once during the round, isn't it?
Correct.
It's a brilliant fight. What I do love is the arrogance, the almost Chris Eubank-like characteristics at times of Fawaz, shaking his fist when it lands. 3 rights down the middle during that round, and a little shake of the glove. It's terrific stuff. What I've got to ask you both is Junaid Bostan showing he learned from the last fight? I don't think he is.
Well, I think he's showing a lot of character because what's happening...
Character, yes, but tactics.
What's happening is Fawaz is not allowing him to box at the fight that he wants to fight. Fawaz is physically the stronger of the two, and he's walking Bostan down. That means Bostan has to fight. He has to get down in the trenches. He's got no choice.
The two men have been effectively read the riot act by the referee before the action began there. First scoring shot of the round is a left hand into the body of Bilal Fawaz from Junaid Bostan. Bostan trying to stand centering, trying to stand tall, keeping his gloves up, trying to spear Fawaz with his impressive left-hand lead, but Fawaz is dangerous, and when he gets the opportunity to counter, boy does he do so.
Yep, throws shots from unusual angles, very unpredictable. Fawaz has both guys standing in the centre of the ring, waiting for the other one to lead off. And it was Bostan that led off with a lovely short right uppercut that went through, splitting through the guard there of Fawaz.
Fawaz landing maybe as many shots as Bostan, but is he landing with similar effect? Bostan gets through, but Fawaz gets the better of that exchange, and a bit of showboating on the ropes on the far side of the ring as he shows exactly how he got the better of the two punches which landed.
Massive left hook again there from Bostan. Fawaz was caught showboating a little bit. He had a little bit of success as well. Fawaz looking for an inside, gets the uppercut in as well. He's moving his head a lot, and Bostan forced to clinch there. Walk Fawaz back to the ropes, but another interesting round as we reach 1 minute 25 seconds left of round number 7. This round still to be won and lost here.
Most of the fight fans here tonight, in all honesty, are here to see what Dave Allen can do in our main event coming up after this against the giant Russian Arslanbek Makhmudov. that coming up after this, and we'll see how that goes. But my word, what a splendid aperitif this is.
Yeah, it really is a fantastic fight we've got here, a fantastic fight we've coming up. And what great fights we've had in this arena as well, John, over the years, with the likes of Naseem Hamed, the late, great Ricky Hatton, you know, just to mention a couple of names. Joe Calzaghe has been here as well. Chris Eubank Sr. actually boxed here.
Against Calzaghe. And Calzaghe, of course, ended effectively the career of one of our outstanding boxing technicians, Richie Woodall, when he beat him here back in, I don't know, early, about 20-odd years ago must be now.
Yeah, we see some fantastic fights over the years, and we're seeing one right here as Bostan again lands a left hook. But look at the response from Fawaz, who's come back with some good shots of his own. This is a real seesaw action here, going one way then the other. I think Fawaz, for me, done enough in that round with the cleanest shots to maybe nick that one. I tell you what, guys, I've got this all level after 7. It could quite easily be one way or the other. Gareth, where you at?
I'm 1 round ahead for Junaid Bostan at the moment, 4 rounds to 3. One of the things I did notice, watched Bostan very closely in that round. He's keeping his hands up very well when he attacks. And because he made the mistake in round 3 of getting caught when he was throwing a big hook, and it scrambled him, didn't it, for a minute or two. His trainer, Grant Smith, very cleverly bought him another 10 seconds, 70 seconds between rounds then. Tremendous fight. It's anybody's fight still, but I do think Boston's boxing very well at the moment.
Round 8. The younger man as well, remember, as we move now into the 8th round. And there's going to be some key moments in this, like that 3rd round when Bostan was all over the place and Fawaz looked as though he was coming close to knocking him down. Will the judges score that 10-9 or 10-8 in favour of Bilal Fawaz? Such decisions can have a key impact in the overall scoring of a contest. There's a nice right hand from Fawaz, and another one. First scoring shots of the round.
Yeah, good work there from Fawaz, and this is where he come on strong in that last contest, in those last few rounds, the penultimate rounds. Will he do the same again here, Fawaz? At the moment, a good start from Bostan, who loads up with a left hook to the body again.
Bostan needs to keep his work rate up, though, because Fawaz has thrown more punches in the opening minute of this 8th round, and he might be getting the advantage in the eyes of the ringside judges, Phil Edwards, Bob Williams and Steve Gray. British judges watching on, English judges watching on for an English super welterweight title fight.
Yep, and what a fantastic fight this is. In round 8 now, 1 minute 40 seconds left of this round, and for me the round's still to be won and lost. Fawaz having the better of the first minute or so, but Bostan now trying to push forward, trying to salvage something out of this.
And he lands a solid left hand, then comes in behind a left hand lead, clubbing left into the body of Fawaz, who sinks back onto the ropes in front of us. He's got a smear of blood on from his right eye, from the corner of the right eye, and I just get the impression that Fawaz might just be losing a little bit of a snap in his work. He's not maintaining the work rate quite as emphatically as he was earlier.
Yep, and blood now running down the right side of Fawaz's face. I think he's picked up a little nick there as well as he lands a double jab right hand, but look at the response there from Bostan, who goes straight back at him as well. Another close round here, John.
Very good indeed. Quality work. It's been a good fight, this one. Might not have been technically the most sensational, but my goodness, they're so well matched, these two. The slightly taller, younger, very athletic Junaid Bostan from Rotherham against Bilal Fawaz, the Nigerian-born Londoner, and he now spears Bostan with a couple of jabs, and he's up on his toes, trying to give the impression of still having plenty in the tank.
Yep, smart move there from Bostan when the rounds go close. The judges are looking for something. Fawaz jumps up on his toes. He's trying to show us a little something, trying to find something somewhere. is fatigue setting in, and Bostan walks back to the corner. Grant Smith signals something to Fawaz. I can't say it on air, but as you can imagine, there was frustration coming from the corner there.
Grant Smith wasn't having it, was he? He went straight back at him and gave him a bit of old-fashioned Sheffield invective.
With 6 minutes left, this is anybody's fight, isn't it? Let's be honest. I've got them 4 apiece now. It's been a tremendous, grueling war, a real battle of will and wit and skill and vim and vigour. So entertaining.
Carried on where they left off in the first fight.
Absolutely. I think the only difference so far is that we saw in the first fight that Junaid Bostan seemed to tie up in those last 2 or 3 rounds. We've seen no sign of that so far. He's the one that's actually trying to push the pace. Here we go, round number 9.
2 rounds to go. We've all had our 2 penneth. Adam watching quietly. Who have you got winning? Come on.
I've currently got it 5-3 for Fawaz. But I can see 4-4. I think he's really got to put his foot down in the last couple of rounds here as Bostan to make a claim for the victory. But he's been absolutely fantastic when it comes down to character.
What an excellent fight it's been. Good straight left from Fawaz. Knocks back Bostan's head. Bostan, though, is onto the front foot now. Lands a swinging left hook into the jaw of Bilal, who takes it well, but then has to take another as he stumbles back for an attempted shot to the body. Lands a couple in reverse, but that's good work from Bostan.
Yeah, lovely work from Bostan. The left hooks were being successful here from Bostan. Bilal Fawaz maybe guilty of messing around a little bit too much on the outside. Was made to pay. He shoots a short right chopping hook there, but gets caught with another big left hook from Bostan. Good start to the round here from Bostan.
It's one of those fights, this, isn't it? You know, in years to come, when people, maybe in all probability, will not recall instantly these 2 fighters, but the 2 fighters themselves are going to remember these 2 tussles because they've been grueling, wonderfully hard fought and very close.
That certainly have, and I'll tell you something, John, this is a gladiatorial sport, and in between these sort of fights you gain a lot of respect for the opponent. I'm sure that after this both guys will have put that feud down. There will be respect left in that ring.
Fawaz is cut over the right eye. He's gabbing at it uncomfortably and suggesting to Bostan that he's done it with a clash of heads, and he doesn't like it much. He was looking to the referee to see if he was going to do anything about it, and it's one of those vertical cuts, I think, over the right eyebrow, which is generally the sort of cut caused by a clash of heads.
Yeah, but look what it's done to Junaid Bostan. He's found a new lease of life there. He's seen the blood and he's going for it as Bilal Fawaz dabs away. Bostan standing in front of him, but he's got to be careful here, Bostan. He can't get too reckless. Just got caught by a short hook coming in there. Lack of concentration, switch off for 1 minute, and this fight could turn on its head.
Well, there's going to be some anxious corner work in the corner of Bilal Fawaz, because they're going to have to work on that cut over the right eye. Meanwhile, though, I'm sure that Grant Smith and the Bostan corner are going to be seeing maybe that this is a crucial swing in their man's favour. Another big left hand from Bostan in the closing stages of this, the 9th round, and we'll go back to the Bostan corner as he said something to Fawaz as he goes back, and let's have a listen in and see what Grant Smith is saying.
Right, 1 round. Right, you have got to stay disciplined. Very close, you need these rounds. You need both, you need this round. You listening? Right, when it's going low, what you said, work the body, your land needs not. Now and again, just don't wait there static with everything. He's touching you. Yeah. It's either go first or walk. Don't just walk in. When he goes flying down ring, don't go chasing him. Walking strong, these have got to stay strong. Bring this. Close it out. Do not give anything away.
Well, there you are. That's how the voice of South Yorkshire from the Steel City Gym in Sheffield for the Rotherham man, Junaid Bostan. That's the inspiration he's trying to give, that this is going to be some last 3 minutes, and how well will that cut of Fawaz hold up? How good a job have they done in staunching the flow of blood?
Well, I'm not sure that that's going to matter at this stage, but I'll tell you something that will matter, John, and that's this round number 10. This fight could be won and lost on this round. Speaking to Gareth A Davies, Adam Catterall, they're going one way and the other. There could be one swing round that could flip this fight on its head. So this fight, this round, could be crucial.
I've got Bostan ahead. I think the youngster has done enough, but he probably doesn't want to be losing this last round emphatically. And Fawaz lands with a good right-hand counter and almost has his man over the ropes before the referee steps in and says, let's box, not wrestle. 2 minutes to go.
Yeah, interesting. I've got Bostan 2 rounds up as well, so I think he gets it, but like I say, some of these rounds have been so close, and Bostan just misses with that right hand. He's trying to make a bite of this. He's trying to force Fawaz to stand his ground and fight, but Fawaz just creating a little bit of space himself. Good 1-2 from Bostan.
Fawaz needs some big shots from somewhere. He gets in with one little right-hand counter, but he didn't time it perfectly. Bostan trying to load up on a big left hook, which whistles through thin air. Fawaz comes in, tighter approach, and lands a couple of short, accurate shots to the body. Now Bostan tries to uncork an overhand right, and again Grant Smith in the corner said, watch him, look at him, box, stay disciplined.
Yeah, but that's exactly what he's got to do here. He's got to stay disciplined, that is the word, because if he switches off, Fawaz has the capabilities and the punch power to turn it around, and as I say that, Bostan gets up on his toes, trying to get some lactic acid maybe out on those legs.
Last 3/4 of a minute of the contest. Who's going to have the most as they approach the finishing line? It could be vital even at this stage. Couple of solid left hooks from Bostan, and then in he comes and denies space for Fawaz to land any sort of counter. Fawaz does come in with a left hand and a right hand to the head of the slightly taller Rotherham man. And then a right hand again from Fawaz. Bostan cramps his own work as he tries to land solid headshots. There's a good right hand from Fawaz as we move now into the last 10 seconds.
Yeah, massive right hand that was from Fawaz. Bostan tries to jump forward. He tries to salvage something out of the round. Did he win the round? I'm not sure he did. I've got Bostan 1 round up here. I think he's done enough. And as I say that, Fawaz grabs Bostan. That's that mutual respect, John, that I was talking about.
Fawaz wanting to embrace him, wanting to say, come on, what a contest that was, and giving his respect. Maybe he knows that Bostan has just about done enough. Bostan didn't want to give him a hurt back.
I've got it a draw, gents. I gave
really?
the last rounds to Fawaz because I thought he did the better work. Junaid Bostan learned something tonight, which is he's going to be in against guys he can't put away, who he's got to go to war with. It was a trenches fight, so close. Spencer's got it 1 round to Junaid. I've got it a draw. Adam's got it a draw as well, I think. What action? What about you?
The Bostan corner were looking across to us as you were speaking there, as much as to say, have you got it, lads? And we just sort of indicated back, well, it's very, very close. Not a lot in it.
Yeah, very close, very close. They all know this is razor tight, razor thin. You wouldn't argue, certainly, for the draw. And what are the odds on that, John? 2 fights, 2 draws between the pair of them. I mean, has that happened? Has that ever happened before? I'm not even sure it has.
Probably has done somewhere, but Bostan, for me, has just done enough. I think he's just done enough to win this one.
I wouldn't argue with that. Sorry, Spence, I wouldn't argue with that. But equally, I could see one judge scoring it one way, one the other, and another a draw.
Usually the corners sort of look at us a little bit in a little bit of a disparaging manner, don't they? But this time
they're not
because
sure.
They really don't know, and they're wanting a little bit of guidance, even from the likes of us.
Well, hopefully it won't be 98-92 to someone.
Oh God, no.
Yeah, that was crazy scoring in that last contest there, it really was. And let's hope we don't get the crazy scoring again, but this one is razor tight. A swing round either way could decide winning and losing in this one. Junaid Bostan raises his arms to the crowd, but he's corner, don't really know. Grant Smith is clapping, he's smiling. Fawaz walks to the centre of the ring, he's speaking to Michael Alexander, and here we are, we're going to get the decision.
And our Master of Ceremonies is getting up there. The belt is there, ready to be put around the waist of whoever has taken this one. Oh, I always feel for fighters at times like this.
Ladies and gentlemen, can I have a big round of applause for both fighters, please? After 10 rounds of action, we go to your judges' scorecards. Judge Steve Gray scores about 95-96 Fawaz. Judge Bob Williams scores about 95-95 a draw. Judge Phil Edwards scores the contest 94-96 for your winner and the new English Super Welterweight Champion, Bellotti.
A little odd way of reading out the scores there. The jeopardy and the anticipation had completely gone.
And amazingly, Fawaz didn't realise he'd won, Adam.
Yeah, he thought it was a draw.
Just realised.
He thought it was a draw. He thought they called a draw, and now he's responding to being classed as the English champion. Listen, what we can absolutely all agree on is that that was one heck of a fight. 10 fantastic rounds between Junaid Bostan and Bilal Fawaz, who's still wanting confirmation from the lady that has just put the English title round his waist. He's wanting confirmation that he is actually the champion. You are my man, and I've no doubt we will get some words from him very, very shortly. Don't forget, you can watch our main event tonight, Dave Allen versus Arslanbek Makhmudov, live only on DAZN. It's coming next here on talkSPORT.
Makhmudov, that's him on the left, wrestling with an extremely big bear in the woods.
The Russian, it says he wrestles bears and he takes sledgehammers to the stomach in preparation.
Do you not do that? Is this not the guy that fights or spars with bears?
I've seen the videos. I've seen the videos.
Bears.
Well, he can wrestle with bears, but he's never been punched by a rhinoceros.
It's a barrage of action from Dave Allen.
I fancy beating Makhmudov, as scary as he is. He's going to fight my fight, and I don't think anyone can beat me at that.
He wanted to be the main attraction, and David Allen delivers.
Tune into my fight with Arslanbek Makhmudov this Saturday on talkSPORT.
We're in Sheffield tonight for the big one. Dave Allen taking on Arslanbek Makhmudov live on talkSPORT. I'm Adam Catterall, my right-hand man, Mr. Gareth A Davies. He's out and about in the arena right now, talking to the CEO of Matchroom Boxing, Mr. Frank Smith. Over to you, Gareth.
I am indeed with Mr. Frank Smith. I thought it was Leo DiCaprio, first of all, when I came over. How are you, mate?
I'm good. I was thinking more Jason Statham.
No, that's a bit too far. I thought Leo DiCaprio was even better. Tremendous fight we just saw there between Fawaz and Junaid Bostan. Could have gone either way, couldn't it?
Yeah, I agree. I actually think that Junaid in that fight won the fight by a round, but it was very close, and it was exactly what we said the fight would be, just like the first fight, back and forth the whole way through. The one thing I'll say is Junaid Boston's so much heart going straight back in there in that rematch, and I think you saw a different Junaid Bostan, a much more mature fighter who's grown up so much in just 10 months. But, you know, what a fight, and credit to Bellotti Fawaz, because he played the part, he got in there, he delivered. So, yeah, one of those fights we want to see again, I'm sure.
Talking about resurgent Yorkshire fighters, the one and only Dave Allen steps in a few moments' time. Biggest night of his career against Arslanbek Makhmudov.
100%. You know, I've said so much. When you think about Dave Allen, he's been around for so long in the sport that you think he's much older than he is. He's 33 years old, and when you see fighters coming into their peak now, 36, 37, especially in the heavyweight division, this could just be the start of the real Dave Allen story. You know, Dave has never applied himself like he has for this fight, and I think he can come through a fight against Makhmudov and go on to the biggest names in the heavyweight division, because when you draw a crowd like he's got in here tonight, you know, nearly 10,000 people here, he's got an opportunity to go in with any of those top 10.
It's funny, isn't it, how that Cinderella Man story of losing to Johnny Fisher in Riyadh, but really winning against Johnny Fisher in many people's eyes, and then righting the wrongs in the second fight with an incredible knockout against a guy, I know you've got him in action again soon at some point, in Johnny Fisher, who's a novice prospect, and yet is still projected, Dave, into a different stratosphere.
Yeah, look, I'll be honest, 3 years ago, I think I used to say about Dave Allen when we were talking about fights, you know, and him as an opponent, I didn't think Dave Allen should still be boxing, but not because he was finished, but because he didn't apply himself. And it's a sport, you know, we know it's a dangerous sport, and you have to be 100%. The difference and the switch in Dave Allen is that mentally he's in the best place he's ever been, and in the gym with the training team he's got now, I've never seen a Dave Allen like it.
No, I haven't either. A slick haircut, calling himself the man.
Modern pants.
Modern pants. Enjoying the walk into the... You could see him when he came into the stadium itself. He could hear the crowd go mad. He's enjoying all those firsts tonight.
100%, and he's got 10,000 people in here who love him and want to see him do well, and he deserves every bit of it, and he should be very proud of what he's done and what he's come back from as well to get into this position now. And I know, you know, look, he's got a hard ass. Makhmudov, 19 KOs in his career, huge puncher, I mean, and a huge bloke as well. But I think Dave Allen can go in there and do a job, 6 rounds.
The ogre of the heavyweight division, as he was, we were talking him up 2 years ago. Now, finally, there are chinks in his armour. What do you believe Dave has to do tonight to expose him for a third time in the heavyweight division?
This is where I think boxing as well is so fickle. You know, we say chinks in his armour. He got beat by Ajit Caballero, who I believe, you know, with the run he's been on, the fights he's been in, he's one of those top 5, 6, 7 heavyweights in the world right now. So he got beat by a guy who's very good. That doesn't mean that he's finished. But Dave has to get through the early rounds, I think. He's going to be a big puncher. We know that. Look at what he's done in his career. Dave's got to get through those rounds and push on to the later rounds. I think he can get a stoppage.
And if he gets that, where'd you take him?
As as I say, he's completely changed his position, because before he was an opponent. When you can do things like this off your own name and off your own back, I don't think any of the other top 10 heavyweights outside of your AJ's Furies could sell a crowd like this for a fight against Makhmudov. That's my opinion. And I think Dave has got the opportunity, winning tonight, to go in against any of those guys, and not just as an opponent, but you know, as a fighter that deserves to be there.
Thanks for your time as always, Frank. Hopefully we'll see you after for a post-fight Alan winning interview.
Can't wait.
Thank you.
Cheers, man.
Got a top man speaking to Matchroom Boxing CEO there, Frank Smith. And it is quite amazing, Spence, isn't it, the Cinderella story of Dave Allen, because as Frank just points out there, speaking to Gareth, 3 years ago, most people would have said Dave Allen's career is absolutely done. Credit to him for knuckling down, taking the opportunity when it did come, and now tonight stands on the precipice of something really special.
Absolutely. I mean, you say 3 years ago, it was actually 6 years ago when he lost to David Price, and it looked like his career was absolutely done then. He retired on the stool, retired from the sport, said that he'd lost interest, lost motivation, and he sort of clawed his way back. You know, he showed a lot of character in doing that, and those two back-to-back fights with Johnny Fisher really catapulted him into the spotlight, and he finds himself here against a guy who we covered and we first met over in Saudi Arabia back in 2023, and he turned up with a reputation as the danger man of the division and the man that could possibly take over the heavyweight reign, and that was Arslanbek Makhmudov. And he's a guy that was a fearsome guy who got beat by Agit Kabayel, but you look at what Kabayel's gone on to do and how good he is. So are we underestimating Makhmudov here?
Yeah, I'll be dead honest, Spence. Listen, we've been around it throughout the whole course of the week, yeah? And when we were on the radio together last weekend and we previewed this, I was like, what a chance this is for Dave Allen. He's well in this. If he can get to round 4, rock and roll, baby, away he goes, and therefore take over the second half of the fight. Then spending time this week in and around it. Dave hasn't done anything to kind of put me off, but Makhmudov has absolutely done things that has put me back on to make me check myself a little bit and go, hang on, right? We love Dave Allen, he does programmes with us, we want great things for Dave Allen, but the task ahead of him tonight is astronomical, because Makhmudov, when we're talking about levels in the heavyweight division, Makhmudov is one of those fighters that has been ranked. I know he's not there right now, but he has been ranked. He ran into Agit Kabayel, who's the 3rd, 4th best heavyweight on the planet, mate. Vianello is no mug. He's a big lad. He knows how to box, and that's what set themselves apart when those two guys came together. When you're talking about levels, this is a big ask tonight for Dave Allen. I'm not saying that he can't do it, but I have had a couple of reality checks throughout the course of this week, which has made me think, hang on a minute, I'm getting carried away with myself. If he pulls this off, it's absolutely astronomical for him.
And it's another interesting factor here, that you talked about the Vianello loss, where he lost with a grossly swollen eye in that 8th round. The referee, actually, the doctor, stopped that fight. He has had a win since then against Ricardo Brown. That was a one-round blowout as well. So you go, he would have reinstalled that confidence. And you're right, you know, we all get wrapped up with this whole Dave Allen story, and we absolutely love that, don't we? And are we guilty of that? I think we find that out tonight. Absolutely. You know, is it your heart overtaking your head? Because Makhmudov is that guy. He's a big, dangerous guy. And for 5 rounds, it's going to be tough.
It is. Listen, we're in Sheffield, so I think it's actually illegal if you come to Sheffield and do a radio programme without speaking to the former mayor of Sheffield, Mr. Kel Brook. And he is with Gareth A Davies right now.
He is with me, Kel Brook. I asked him how many times he fought here. He said, I've never fought here. What are you on about? It's probably about 20 times. Very familiar arena for you.
Very familiar arena for me. You know, I've headlined here, I've lost count. I class this as my house, my home. Sheffield Arena is my home.
What will it bring to Dave Allen tonight, Kel?
You know, he's also boxed here many times as well. Listen, this is his night. He'll be feeling alive backstage now. He knows what these fans bring. He knows he's trained unbelievable for this fight. If he beats this kid tonight, you know, there's some massive fights for him after this fight.
How does he beat Makhmudov in your view? What's the best tactic?
Being tough, being durable. Do you know what I mean? He's got a fantastic coach in Jamie Moore, and I think he's going to go out there. Listen, he's on a roll. You know, he's had a fantastic last few couple of fights with Fisher and stuff. You know, and I think this is his night tonight. You know, he's going to go out there. He's gonna draw that energy from the fans. And he's going to go out and he's going to be electric. You know, I really do believe it's Dave Allen's night tonight.
It's amazing his Cinderella story, though, isn't it? Cinderella man story.
Cinderella story, you know, he's had some low times in boxing, he's had some really high times, and I think this is his time now. You know, he's captured the boxing world's imagination, and we're all behind him, you know, we love his story, you know, and I think he's going to really come out tonight and leave it all in the ring, you know, and we're all going to be here to witness it.
Well, hopefully the White Rhino is touching me, touching you tonight. Great to see you, mate.
Brilliant. Thank you, Gareth.
Cheers, Cal.
Gareth A Davies ringside there with the former IBF welterweight champion of the world, Mr. Cal Brook. As the lights dim down here at the Sheffield Arena, Neil Diamond ringing out, the fans are singing it, they're in full voice, let me tell you. Fair play to the White Rhino, he's absolutely packed the gap out this evening, and this lot have come for one thing. They want to see their man be victorious and maybe set up in 2026 a showdown with one of those big names in the heavyweight division, the likes of the Deontay Wilders, the likes of the Anthony Joshuas. Maybe. Listen, it's a crazy game that we're playing right now, Spence. Who knows what could happen? I've just seen Arslanbek Makhmudov take his position at the top of the ramp. We're ready to go.
Ladies and gentlemen, Sheffield Arena, are you ready for your main event of the evening? 12 rounds of action for the WBA Intercontinental Heavyweight title. Introducing first to the ring, please welcome the Lion, Arslanbek Makhmudov.
Comes Makhmudov as the sirens ring out here in the Sheffield Arena. He's not wasting any time. He believes a win for him tonight puts him in the frame to fight Anthony Joshua in 2026. He is a big, intimidating character, but as we've seen recently, when someone stands up to him and fronts him head on, questions about how badly he wants it come into question. He's undoubtedly the favourite, so there's huge pressure on his shoulders. Makhmudov is fighting for his career tonight. A loss would be a disaster and put to bed any talk of heavyweight championships further down the line. Dressed in all black as he stands right in front of me. He's already in the ring. He has the look of a stereotypical Bond villain, ready to consume his prey at any cost.
And now, entering the arena, please welcome the Doncaster De La Hoya, Pappy to the Doncaster, also known as the White Rhino.
second time in a 13-year professional career we have a card build around Dave Allen. Last time against Lucas Brown, he delivered big time. Can he do it again? Forever, the lad next door, a lovable character. Tonight, he wants to be known as the lad that can fight. We're going to find out just how good Dave Allen really is. There is a storm coming, but he relishes that. He's in the physical shape of his life, but more importantly, mentally, he's happy. Dressed in all blue, as he enters the ring, he takes in the love of the Yorkshire crowd. He isn't going to get handed a victory just because we all love Dave Allen. He's going to have to go to a place that he's been before, but this time, he's going to have to find a way through. The odds are stacked against him, but he's crazy sport dishes up romantic moments every once in a while, and tonight might just be that night. As the dust settles on the ring walks, the noise lifts inside the Sheffield Arena. Drinking in as you consume this on talkSPORT. We are live on the talkSPORT Boxing YouTube channel as well. The watch along is on.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're live on DAZN worldwide, and we're all set for our main event of the evening. Eddie Hearn and Matchroom Boxing present 12 rounds for the WBA Intercontinental Heavyweight Championship. The action is sponsored by Betfred, Trip, Rehab Season, Tom Life Insurance, The Prize Guy, and Everlast. This bout is sanctioned by the British Boxing Board of Control. Shooting in charge is Suzanne Potts. Your WBA supervisor is Mariana Borisova. Your pre-scoring judges, Steve Gray, Pavel Cardini, and Bob Williams. Your timekeeper is Peter Humphrey, and your referee is A-star referee, Steve Gray. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the moment has come. The referee is here. The judges are ringside, and the fighters are set for action. Sheffield Arena, it's a fight, so we gotta make it loud. So give me some noise from the crowd. Introducing first, fighting out of the red corner. He weighed in at 263.1 pounds. Wearing black and white trunks, he's had 22 fights, 20 wins with 2 defeats. He's the former North American and WBC silver heavyweight champion from Montreal, Quebec, the Lion, Arslanbek Makhmudov. And his opponent across the ring, boxing out of the blue corner. He weighed in at 259.1 pounds, wearing blue and gold. 33 fights, 24 wins, 7 defeats, and 2 draws. He's from Doncaster. Please welcome Doncaster de la Hoya, Papa de la Doncaster, the White Rhino, Dave Allen.
Okay, boys, if I call break, I expect you to take one step back. I don't want to see any deliberate punches down the back of the head. Protect yourselves at all times. Touch gloves.
What comes next can be dealt with tomorrow. The immediate problem is a 6'7" Russian giant that wants to inflict pain. How good is Dave Allen? We're about to find out. Calling you through our main event live on talkSPORT. It's Spencer Oliver and John Rawling.
Round one. And what an atmosphere here in Sheffield. Can this crowd lift and inspire Dave Allen in what is surely the biggest test of his professional career? Makhmudov straight onto the front foot, trying to land headshots. Came back with a left hand, Allen, and Makhmudov just stumbled slightly. The crowd reacted as though he was hurt. Don't think he was. And now Makhmudov leans on, and there's a round arm right hand over the top from Allen, and the referee has to split them. Makhmudov stands some 3 or 4 inches taller than Allen, and he tries to spear him with a couple of headshots. Allen works inside, lands an uppercut. The Dave Allen danger punch, his big shot, is the left hook. That's the one he's going to be looking for.
Yep, and he landed that early on in the opening of this round. Makhmudov, a huge figure of a man, pins Allen on the ropes. Allen comes back with a nice short uppercut of his own. Started this quite well, Dave Allen, holding himself well. Big looping right hand over the top there from Makhmudov as well. The referee is going to have some work to do here, you suspect.
I'm sure that Jamie Moore, the very experienced Manchester trainer of Dave Allen, in that corner was doing all he could, despite the rapturous reception that he received, was doing all he could to keep Allen's head together. Good right hand from Makhmudov. Allen just rode it though and swung back onto the ropes on the far side of the ring. Good jab from Allen. Makhmudov with clearly a sizable reach advantage. The question is going to be how well he can use that and dominate from range. Tries to switch attack from chopping right hand to an uppercut inside. Allen has a real good look straight into the huge Russian's eyes. He's based in Montreal nowadays, Makhmudov. Still, though, very much a Russian speaker.
Yep, he certainly is. Caught up with him earlier in the week, and he's got high hopes of an Anthony Joshua fight somewhere down the line, so he knows it's a must-win fight here. A huge figure of a man lets a big right hand go. Dave Allen being pinned on the ropes for the majority of this first round with 30 seconds left.
What can Allen do in these remaining 30 seconds? Listen to the crowd. Just as they used to sing Walking in a Hatton Wonderland, they're now singing Walking in an Allen Wonderland. And he is very much like Ricky Hatton, everybody's friend, and he's the boy next door who has a chance to do something very special in this heavyweight division. Makhmudov misses with a chopping right hand. Allen ties him up, tries to land a counter of his own, and there's nothing too significant, in all honesty, landed in that opening round, though I think Makhmudov did enough to take it.
Yep, Makhmudov was the aggressor. He was the one on the front foot. He got through with a couple of nice right hands, left hooks as well. Dave Allen, though, coped with it well. Just sat on the ropes a lot of the time, looking for that check left hook counter, but it didn't come. The sheer size of Makhmudov maybe overwhelming Dave Allen in that round. I think for Dave, what he needs to do here, he has to punch and take that gamble when Makhmudov is on that front foot. He's waiting just a little too long at the moment, and you can't do that with a figure of a man like Makhmudov in front of you.
But he wasn't hurt.
No, he wasn't hurt, but what I think, I can see Allen loaded. There's the left hook he landed. Makhmudov's open for Allen's left hook, but what I also like is Allen's right. He's a clubbing puncher, Makhmudov, not a hard, straight puncher. It's a good first round from Allen.
Right now into the second round of this 12-rounder here at the Sheffield Arena, where some 10,000 or more are hoping for the greatest win of Dave Allen's career. Makhmudov on the front foot lands a solid right hand through the guard of Allen, whose chin was tested there, but he takes it well. Allen now with his gloves up high around the side of his head. Makhmudov, some 4 inches taller at 6'6.5", comes in and lands a right hand under left hand. Allen in close, trying to work off the ropes, give himself space maybe for that left hook, but it doesn't come. And Steve Gray, tall man himself, the referee, pushes Makhmudov back, and the action underway again. Right hand, left hand from Makhmudov, and there's a bit more confidence about the big Russian's work now.
Yeah, good work from Makhmudov here, dominating behind that jab, driving that right hand through the middle as well. With Dave Allen, we know what the tactics is here, to try and punch Makhmudov, who has a history of doing that, by the way. Punch himself out early, because Dave spending a lot of time covering up, hands held high, peekaboo type style, but he's got to be careful he doesn't get caught with one of those big right uppercuts that Makhmudov throws, and he just threw one there and skimmed the whiskers of Dave Allen.
The highly rated Ajit Kabayel beat Makhmudov in 4 rounds. The less highly rated Guido Vianello beat him in 8 rounds. A Las Vegas-based Italian, and now they go back. He goes back to his corner, does Makhmudov, and there's a look into the corner from Dave Allen, who seems very happy with the way things are going. He just looks across to Makhmudov and says, well, if I was out of order, my apologies, it was not deliberate, and carry on. I'm ready to have the fight. It's Makhmudov, and the referee says to Dave Allen, keep your punches up, let's not have them low.
Yeah, I think it was accidental. Dave Allen is the shorter of the two. He went inside. Makhmudov is a huge figure of a man. He was a little bit close, and Dave Allen misjudged it. Dave Allen misses wildly with the left hook, and Makhmudov piling the shots on. Allen's trying to punch with Makhmudov now. The action really heating up here in round two.
Trying to trade off the ropes, Allen. Makhmudov was coming on strong. Just under a minute to go in this second round. Aiming shots at the head of Allen, who keeps his gloves up high. Makhmudov gets through with a right hand between that high-held guard, but now Allen plodding forward, trying to work in behind his own left-hand lead, waiting for the opportunity to land that concussive left hook, which might just be the difference. Aims to throw it, but was short of the mark. Whistled through thin air. Couple of pawing-looking jabs from Makhmudov, and then a clubbing right hand. Allen keeps his gloves up high. There's not a lot coming back from the Doncaster man right now. He landed one body shot, and now makes Makhmudov miss with a right-hand lead. Tries to throw a left hook counter, and only just missed the target. And looks at Makhmudov as much as to say, yeah, I know where you are, and I can get you.
That was not a low blow there. That was a body shot that slammed in. That was good work there from Dave Allen. It was very sensible work, because yes, he was on the end of a lot of heavy punishment, but he was in control of that, and he's doing what he set out to do here, and that is get Arslanbek Makhmudov to punch himself out. Makhmudov, as we saw in the round, was loading up big right hands through the middle, and the uppercuts were going in as well. But Dave Allen has got some chin, I tell you. He was soaking it up, and then he'd come back with shots of his own. Interesting tactics, but I like it from Dave Allen.
I think it's very clear that he very much fancies this.
Absolutely. He's taking and weathering a brutal storm, and those counters are brilliant. I think Spencer's right. Just found a chink in the armour with that body shot at the end of the round on Makhmudov. That's a little bit of success.
I thought Makhmudov still won that second round, and I've given it 2-0 in the big Russian's favour so far, but that was always likely to be the case. And if Allen can get through the first 4 or 5 rounds, then his big chance might come. Misses with an overhand right, and he complains to the referee that Allen hits him low. The referee doesn't want to know, and Allen lands 2 solid left hands. Yeah. Well, that's interesting. Turning to the referee and crying foul. That is not good body language.
No, terrible body language there. He was hurt with a big body shot at the end of the first round, and he's been complaining here in the second round. Allen, again, peekaboo style, sitting on the ropes, rope-a-dope, trying to get the big man, Arslanbek Makhmudov, to punch himself out. Allen stalking forward again. Is he growing in confidence here? Good right hand again from Makhmudov.
Yeah, solid. Allen only just missed with a swinging right hand counter hook. And Makhmudov now holds on and drags Allen in close. And there's a little bit of a mark around the right eye of Dave Allen. I hope it's not blood that I see there, but it looks as though it may be. We'll look closer when they get over to this side of the ring. Just looks as though it's somewhere on the inside of the nose. Maybe not. Maybe it's just the shadow playing tricks in the lights over the ring here. Good right hand from Makhmudov. Aims to throw another one, and Allen parries this one, and now goes stalking Makhmudov, looking for him, looking to land big shots of his own. And there's a good left hook. Lands into the face of the Russian, and and another one. The right hand gets through as well. Makhmudov takes them all though and stands tall and swings in a clubbing right hook into the body of Dave Allen, who at 6'3" is significant with a shorter man, but he has the power. He's already shown that.
Yeah, Allen doing the right thing though. He's getting Makhmudov to work when he doesn't want to work, and it's taking a lot of energy out of him. The big Russian is loading those right hands and he's throwing them like missiles, but Dave Allen, to his credit, he's still coming forward as they go above us, standing above us. Allen again making Makhmudov work. Is he starting to look a little uncomfortable now with 35 seconds to go in this third round?
Fascinating fight. Makhmudov is winning these early rounds, as we thought he would. Sorry if I've raised the alarm unnecessarily about facial injury for Dave Allen. Didn't appear to be any blood on his face. Right hand, though, does get through. Makhmudov has to take it, and the referee has a word with the Russian about illegal holding and pulling Allen in close. Allen's got his gloves up high. Last few seconds of this third round. That's a good right hand from Allen. Makhmudov has to take it and drops his hands low. Let's go into the corner and hear what Jamie Moore and Nigel Travers are saying to Dave Allen. The voice you'll hear now is that of Jamie Moore.
Your feet are a little bit closer, concentrating on my leg, but that's my hand banded. But we're going to throw it straight. Trigger 2, yeah? So next time, when you're walking it back, instead of dipping and winging it, dip, come up, drop it straight down the pipe. Yeah? You've been working on that 1-2 all the way through, yeah? This is where we're talking about now. Going into that fourth round, he's blowing out his fucking arms. Yeah? Suck it up, son. Exactly as you thought, yeah? Stay with it.
And they think that it is going exactly as they imagined.
He's not just blowing out of his ASS, he's also starting to question himself, is the big Russian. You could see it in his body language in the last minute of that third round.
We move now into the fourth. I've given all three to Makhmudov so far, but yes, Dave Allen is very much in this fight. And now you heard Jamie Moore saying it's time to measure him now, step inside and put one straight down the pipe. In other words, look for that straight headshot.
Yep, he's now put Makhmudov on the back foot. They've got a game plan and it's working for Dave Allen. We were worried for him in the first 3 or 4 rounds and he seems to be coming through that.
We're in the fourth round now. Allen's 3 rounds down, but a little bit of the speed has gone out of the hand speed of Makhmudov. Lands a left-hand lead, and listen to the crowd singing for Dave Allen with all their hearts. My goodness me, what a remarkable support he's getting here.
Yeah, they absolutely love him, don't they? And that is spurring him on. He needs this support right now because it's been tough in there. Those opening 3 rounds has been on the end of a lot of heavy punishment. Those big right hands have been going in, but just throws a 1-2, and Makhmudov ties him up. Dave Allen starting to get closer now.
The right hand was through over the lead of Makhmudov, and Makhmudov saw it coming just in time and was able to parry and hold. But Allen is starting to walk the big Russian down now, and there's not the power. Oh, that's a good right hand, though, from Makhmudov, and that sends spray flying from the hair of Dave Allen. Tries to follow it up with 1, 2, 3 more, but all taken on the gloves of Allen, who now gets into range and land his own right hook, but he was short of the target. 2 of them aim big right hands simultaneously, and the Russian corner is urging their man to come forward, to dominate physically, to be the aggressor.
Yeah, he's showing incredible durability here. Dave Allen is trying to get in range to land shots of his own, but it's been all Arslanbek Makhmudov in this fourth round with 50 seconds to go. Makhmudov ties Allen up. Allen tries to pull his head down. He's trying to find something from somewhere, but where is he finding the strength here, Allen?
Well, it's a belief, isn't it? And they've worked on this. They've known that they're going to be behind, but that their chance will come. And he nods at Makhmudov as he comes in close. Lands a heavy body shot, left hand, and then a left left-hand, right-hand to the head. Referee has to split them, but there was power in that left hand of Allen's, and he's walking him down again with less than 20 seconds to go in this fourth round. Right hand, left hand from Makhmudov. Allen is closing the gap into the last 10 seconds. He's trying to measure him for a big left hand. He lands a solid shot to the body and then a chopping right hand to the head. And there's the bell to end that fourth. And for me, another Makhmudov round.
Yeah, Makhmudov ahead 4 rounds to 0 for me at the moment, but Dave's wearing him down, Spencer.
Well, he's definitely closing the gap, that's for sure, and that will be the tactics to take Makhmudov into that second half of the contest. He's taken a lot of punishment, Dave Allen, but tell you what, the hope that Dave Allen's got is he's got 19 out of his 24 victories that have come inside the distance. Dave Allen can whack, and the good thing is he's actually closing the gap.
And his chin's fantastic as well. I don't like those big, long right hands he's taking over and over again, but he's covering up so brilliantly. This fight is actually on a knife edge in spite of Makhmudov being 4 rounds off.
Well, points, it's Makhmudov all the way, but Allen is still very much in there with belief, and he comes very quickly to the centre of the ring for the beginning of this 5th round. Is there going to be a change in the tide? Will Allen land something big in this round to start to give him and his legion of supporters real hope? Right hand and a left uppercut from Allen. There's a right hand in close from Makhmudov, and Allen grabs the Russian close and shows his physical strength in a maul. Jab from Makhmudov, taken on the gloves by Allen, switches the attack to the body, but doesn't land with any power, aiming that right hand somewhere towards the left-hand side of Allen's head. Allen holds on, drags him in, and the referee tells the Russian, you cannot get him in a bear hug. That is not allowed.
Yeah, he's got to keep that bear hugs to the bears that he wrestles outside, and we saw that in training camp for this fight. Perhaps he feels that Dave Allen is that type of bear. He's fighting, coming forward out of that peekaboo style, but he is getting closer. Uppercut goes in from Allen. Listen to the roar of the crowd.
Yeah, it was a good right-hand uppercut. Makhmudov pushes him away a little bit contemptuously, but Allen got through with a solid punch. And now Allen's got the gloves up high again, misses with a left hook. Makhmudov lands with a straight left hand, misses with the right cross, and then he grabs Allen again in a bit of a bear hug, and the referee is going to have to split them. Makhmudov's going to be incurring the wrath of Steve Gray if he's not careful.
Yeah, Dave Allen again pinning Makhmudov on the ropes above us, lands a short uppercut. The crowd are trying to spur him on. Makhmudov again holding Dave Allen round the neck.
Allen, though, when he gets into range, he has belief, and he's still landing hurtful punches. Good body shot from Allen, and a great right uppercut. Makhmudov takes them well, though. It was a left hook, right uppercut, and another left hook from Allen, as Makhmudov has to give ground. There's a slightly tired, telegraphed look to his work. 2 great uppercuts from Allen, and a left hook, and the crowd are living every punch with the Doncaster favourite. Makhmudov misses with a chopping right hand as Allen now gets in close, and this has been the most success that the Doncaster man has had to this point.
Yep, he's doing well here, Dave. He's making Makhmudov work, and he's starting to land shots of his own. Makhmudov now, is it time for him to start asking himself questions? He's been here before, and he's folded before Makhmudov. Is that the game plan here as Allen again just misses with the uppercut? Makhmudov with the lion written across his shorts, and he's going to have to show some lion instincts in
Good left hook from Allen. Good left hook, and Makhmudov has to hold on. Really good, powerful left hand from Allen. Last few seconds of the round. Makhmudov backing away, wary now of Allen's power. Allen slings a left hand as much as to say, yeah, that's what it's all about. Now, did he do enough to win that round?
No, unfortunately not. He's still on the end of some heavy punishment, but there is hope here for sure, because he didn't expect to win these early rounds. He wants to take Makhmudov into that second half of the fight. That's where he feels he's going to get the success. That's where he's going to have to pick up the engine.
Well, the blueprint's been there for a couple of fights, that if you break his heart, if you break his will, you can stop Makhmudov. Whether Dave can win some rounds now is immaterial. He's got to go for the stoppage at some point, in my view.
This is all about Dave Allen now trying to steal Makhmudov's soul. That's what he has to do here. He's got to stand in front of him, let the big Russian punch himself out and pick up the work rate. Interesting as we go into round 6.
It's a 12-rounder, so it is reaching the point where Allen really does have to make a proper imprint on this contest. He certainly had moments in that last round, landed more heavy scoring shots than in any round so far. Couple of jabs from Allen. Makhmudov keeps his gloves high, waiting for Allen to commit himself. Allen comes in with a right hook, and Makhmudov backs away, tries to throw a right hand of his own, taken on the gloves by Allen, who throws a left into the body and then gets in close and tries to work Makhmudov to the head. And it's Makhmudov who gets told off by Steve Gray for dragging his man on. Good body shot from the Russian, left hand and a right uppercut as well, forcing Allen back onto the ropes right in front of us. Good jab again from Makhmudov. Nothing coming back from Allen at this stage. Tries to get inside and throw uppercuts and misses with a wild left hook, which Makhmudov was just able to watch fly through the air in front of his nose.
Yeah, Makhmudov been controlling the space in this round, but he's working very hard in doing that. And Dave Allen is trying to get this guy to punch himself out. He stands in front of Makhmudov again, peekaboo style, making the big Russian work.
The referee stepped in and said break, and he didn't like what Allen was doing, getting right into the face of Makhmudov, and Allen gave a little word of criticism to the referee, as much as to say, what's wrong? Well, the referee said it was wrong, and that's all that counts. Makhmudov now with a little more than 1 minute 15 to go in this round. Misses with a right hand and is punished with a left to the body from Allen. Referee splits them again. A tired-looking, pawing left hand, right hand from Makhmudov. And then a right hand taken on the gloves by Allen, but he does get in with a right uppercut, which draws a little bit of a buzz of applause from his cornermen right in front of our commentary position here.
Yeah, both guys just wrestling in the corner right above our commentary position. Makhmudov looking for the opening. He's just trying to pour out with the shots, trying to create a big right hand, slams through the middle. That forces Dave Allen back to the ropes.
Makhmudov must be well clear on points at this stage, but how well is his stamina going to maintain itself through the last 30 seconds of this round? Makhmudov looking to measure Allen for a big right hand, thinks better of throwing it, then does get in with a right. There's a left to the body, comes smacking back from Allen.
Yeah, Allen trying to draw Makhmudov in so he can load up with one of those big shots. Oh, big shots coming from Allen.
Makhmudov landed a tremendous right hand, and then back came Allen with two of his own. It was as much as to say, that all you got? How about this?
What an incredible chin Dave Allen's got. We know he's lost 7 and been stopped 4 times, Spence, but never been knocked out. And we've seen how brilliant that chin is tonight so far. That wasn't a great round for him compared to the previous round. He got very little off.
Yeah, he was walking forward, Dave Allen, but not really throwing too many shots. Makhmudov was doing pretty much as he pleased. He was trying to be creative. He was looking for the openings, little uppercuts on the inside, and he landed 2 big right hands through the middle, straight flush on the chin there of Dave Allen. Allen tried to respond, but wildly missed. Big round there for the Russian. Dave Allen really needs needs to start doing something here.
We're into the second half of the fight. You're listening to Allen against Makhmudov, the massive Canadian-based Russian against the pride of Doncaster on the home of boxing, talkSPORT. We're right at ringside, no more than a yard away from the ring surface here at the Sheffield Arena. We could almost touch the fighters as Allen cuts the ring off. Makhmudov trying to pick him off from range, left hand, right hand. Allen keeps his gloves tight to his head, trying to create as small a target as possible. Comes in with a jab of his own. Then a good uppercut from Makhmudov. Right hand and a left cross. Allen has to take it and shows again that extraordinary resilience that Gareth Davies has been talking about between rounds.
Yep, incredible durability. He's showing incredible character and an amazing chin here, Dave Allen. But, you know, sometimes you can be too brave for your own good. He needs to start seeing him do something as well. I get the tactics, John. Then that, you know, he's trying to get the big Russian to punch himself out. But come on, give us something back.
Good right hand from Allen. I suspect, though, that might be what the referee said to the Allen corner when he went over there between the last round ending and the beginning of this. I think he might have said something along the lines, come on, I need to see something. I need to see something from Dave to let this continue. He won't want to see anybody get badly hurt here as the third man in the ring, officiating, his job to protect fighters as well as to allow a spectacle to unravel and take place before your eyes. Makhmudov fighting well off the ropes, good long-range punches, looking for an opportunity to land the big right hand. The cheers again go up for Dave Allen, who gets him with a right hook, but it's Makhmudov who lands an uppercut off the ropes. Allen looking for the opportunity to throw the left hand, but it's just not there. The hand speed and accuracy of Makhmudov is too much right now. Yep. Just under 40 seconds to go in this 7th round.
Yep, the face starting to look battered and bruised now of Dave Allen, who's been walking forward, making Makhmudov work hard, but Makhmudov boxing at ease. Big right hand there from Makhmudov. How did Dave Allen soak that up? How did he take that? Well, heaven only knows.
He has an astonishing chin, Dave Allen, when he's in this sort of mood. He's prepared long and hard for this fight. Oh, and the referee is taking a point away from Makhmudov. He's deducting a point for illegal holding with the left hand, it seems. Well, I think that's a bit harsh, to be honest.
Yeah, it was a little bit harsh, and Dave Allen will have needed that for sure, because he lost the round big time. So I'd probably score it a 9-9 round, if I'm honest, because it was all Makhmudov there, and the referee deducting him a point will probably level the round up.
Gareth, I know you're trying to get in, but let's just listen to Jamie Moore in the Dave Allen corner.
Okay. Come on now, we're in this part of the fight where we wanted him. He's starting to fall. He's now can't hold on. Make it good to get knocked out. Trigger twos. Yeah? Big deep breath. Needs to go back to the beginning where the energy was. Yeah, I know. He's swerving the storm and he's pushing the smash. He needs to have only the last minute. We need to be strong here. Yeah, I've got it. Yeah, that's
trying to get some belief into him, Gareth.
Yeah, and I thought that was Makhmudov's most clinical rounds almost since the beginning of the fight.
Well, he lost a point, so as Spencer says, that might go down as a level round at 9-all. We're now into the 8th round, and is Allen going to be able to do what his corner said and really start to show something at this stage of the contest? Makhmudov working off the ropes, good uppercuts, right hand and a left hand. Allen keeping his gloves up, trying to walk him down, get inside, work in the pocket, and give himself a chance of landing a truly concussive big left hook.
Yeah, I tell you what, Dave Allen is going to have to find something from somewhere, because, yeah, I get the tactics and I know what he's trying to do here, but it's been very, very punishing. And the big Russian, Makhmudov, has been landing some big shots through the middle, uppercuts as well. And we need to see something now from Dave Allen. It's time to turn it on as the face looking red above us. He taps the body there of Makhmudov, but Makhmudov still looking comfortable.
It was a good left hook into the body, though, and Makhmudov felt the weight of that. The head of Allen going into the head of Makhmudov, and the referee has to split them. Good right hand from Makhmudov, again taken well by Allen. He's absorbed so many big shots in this fight. Oh, big uppercuts as well. Allen misses with an attempted right-hand counter, but it was the uppercut from Makhmudov, which was the power shot and the shot which inflicted pain again on the Yorkshireman.
Yep, referee Steve Gray breaking them up again. Dave Allen straight back to the centre of the ring, peekaboo style, looking to pin Makhmudov on the ropes. This is where he needs to work now, but no, they're wrestling.
You're listening to the main event here in Sheffield on talkSPORT, your home of boxing. Dave Allen against Arslanbek Makhmudov. And Makhmudov is a long way in front on points, but Allen is still in there pitching, lands a left to the body and a couple to the head, and the referee has to split them. Bit of use of the forearm as well from Allen, which of course is outside the rules. Now he narrows the gap and lands a couple of clubbing shots to the body, but can't find the real snap or purchase with that left hook, which he again throws perhaps a bit predictably towards the head after the body shot. Here he comes again, another left hook to the body, and the head of Makhmudov being pushed back by Allen, who has to take two more and then misses with a big left hook as he gets in close, right in front of us in the corner by the red post, right in close to where we're talking.
Yeah, incredibly, Dave Allen still walking forward, but walking into those big right hands as the action is right above us. Referee Steve Gray breaks the action up, but another round for Arslanbek Makhmudov, who's racking up these rounds, and I think it would be safe to say that Dave Allen needs the knockout here.
He doesn't look absolutely knackered though, does he, Gareth? He looks as though he still has it in his body to find something special, Dave Allen.
He still believes, he's still trying to walk Makhmudov down, but we've fallen into this pattern where Makhmudov is happy to work off the ropes and then hold, and he knows he's winning round after round. I think there's an element of frustration creeping into Dave's work as well, because he isn't finding the openings. It might be worth him standing off for a moment rather than pressing forward the whole time, just to alter the pattern, Spencer.
Yeah, no, listen, I think that the pressure's the right idea, but when he gets there, he needs to let the hands go, because he needs to make Makhmudov work. What he's doing is stalking forward, and Makhmudov is being allowed to nick these breathers in between it as well, so he's controlling, you know, his space quite well as well, and he's not being made to work hard enough.
4 rounds to go for the White Rhino to find something special. Left hand from range from Makhmudov. Back comes Allen with a right hand which thuds into the solar plexus of the giant Russian, who falls short with a left hand aimed at the head of Allen, who takes a left hand from Makhmudov then, and then comes forward, walking straight after Makhmudov, coming in straight lines maybe, gets in with a right hand to the bearded face of Makhmudov. Left hand as well from the Russian. Here's Allen right in front of him now, in the corner, a couple of yards away from where we're speaking. A couple of body shots from Allen. There's a bit of spray comes off the body of Makhmudov and showers Spencer Oliver.
It was actually like me having a shower. Two huge men in front of me. Big right hand there from Dave Allen. A bit of success. The gum shield has come out here.
And the referee has to stop the action. He didn't realise what had happened. Defend yourself at all times. Makhmudov took a bit of a risk there, and the cornermen are up washing the gum shield, replacing it, and the crowd think there was a bit of sharp practice there from the Russian.
Yeah, Makhmudov has been known to tie up late on in contests, and I think the crowd sensing that is he getting tired and he's trying to nick a little bit of a breather. As I say, that big uppercut there from Makhmudov. Dave Allen takes that somehow with his head down, still trying to work. Incredible durability.
And the solid right hand came in from Allen by way of riposte as well. Makhmudov backs away towards the ropes on the far side. Oh, huge right hand from Allen. The crowd up on their feet. They thought that Makhmudov had really been tagged by that. The Russian shows he's got a decent chin though. But is he now starting to run out of gas? This is what Allen and his legion of his supporters have to believe is going to happen. Makhmudov covers up on the ropes. Here comes Allen. 2-3 body shots and a big right uppercut, all on target. Makhmudov just punching onto the gloves of Allen now, who bobs in and lands another big right hand. He's enjoying his best spell for some time in this fight. Allen is still in there, still pitching and still believing. Left jab, Makhmudov short of the target with an attempted right hand counter right from the Russian, taken on the gloves by Allen, who pads that in, lands an uppercut, right hand into the head of Makhmudov, who's trying to fight back on instinct. But this is a huge attack from Dave Allen, and is he going to be able to get his man going here in the closing seconds of the round? Well, Makhmudov survives that attack, but it's the best Dave Allen's produced so far, and I tell you what, for me, his round big time, because Makhmudov looked groggy when he went back to the corner, and Dave Allen takes that one and takes it clearly.
Yeah, Makhmudov was in big trouble as he walked back to the corner there, last 15-20 seconds of the round. Dave Allen handed a huge looping right hook and then piled on the pressure. Makhmudov was stunned on the ropes. Momentarily the legs stiffened up. He was in big trouble, and I tell you what, he was walking back to the corner above us like he was on stilts.
11 big punches in that assault. They didn't all land, but it made the Russian Lion wobble on his feet. Dave Allen, after round 9, finally winning a round, now knows what he needs to do for the last 9 minutes.
Allen goes centering, tries to orchestrate his support, waves to them to say, come on, make some noise. Allen believes as we go into the 10th round of what's turning out to be an intriguing contest, this 12-round heavyweight main event in Sheffield for you on talkSPORT, the home of boxing.
Makhmudov's legs look very shaky in there at the moment as Dave Allen lands a short left hook, misses with the uppercut, but Makhmudov looking comfortable. The legs seem to be unsteady, and he's gone back to the ropes. Is this Dave Allen's time?
Makhmudov is just trying to cover up, trying to invite Allen in. Allen is right in his face, looking to have the opportunity to throw more big hooks towards the head of this 6'6" bearded Russian, Arslanbek Makhmudov. And he holds on again. He's already been told by the referee for that. He's been deducted 1 point already. And now here comes Allen, right in front of Makhmudov. Misses with a couple of hooks aimed towards the body, and misses as well with an uppercut right hand. Gets in with a left hook of sorts, but no great power in that. But the crowd is urging Dave Allen on.
The power has gone out of Makhmudov's shots now as he gets pinned into the corner. Dave Allen, both guys nearly come over the ropes on top of us. That would have been big trouble for sure. 2 huge men in there, and Dave Allen having a good spell in the fight. Makhmudov with a good uppercut there though.
Dave Allen is fighting on instinct and fighting on emotion, and there's plenty of that coming from the 10,000 crowd at the Sheffield Arena. Makhmudov looks up into the lights a bit uncomfortably as Allen comes forward. A minute to go in this 10th round. Allen won the last round, remember. Makhmudov has recovered pretty well and is working handily off the ropes and ties Allen up once more.
Yeah, fatigue maybe setting in though with Makhmudov, who keeps shaking his arms out. It's tough now getting into this sort of territory of the fight for Makhmudov, who's a huge guy and has been loading up with the punches right from the opening bell. And here goes Dave Allen again. He's loading up for the shots.
Couple of big head shots to two right hands. Makhmudov holds on, and the referee shouts at him to back off. The crowd don't like what Makhmudov's doing, holding on and clearly fouling. Allen now going after him, looking for headshots once more in the closing 20 seconds of this 10th round. He needs to finish this round big, and nobody knows it more than the Doncaster heavyweight himself. Good work off the ropes by Makhmudov. Left hand, solid shot. Allen takes it though. How often has his chin been tested in this contest? And the bell goes to end the 10th. And maybe Makhmudov did enough to win that round.
Yeah, I think so. Makhmudov had the better work. He was landing the right hands again through the middle, but there was moments there again though that Dave Allen was getting success, loading up with those left hooks, and he is getting closer. It's going to be a big 6 minutes, and it's going to be a 6 minutes that will change Dave Allen's life as he stands in the corner, standing on his feet. The fitness, the stamina is still there, but he has to throw everything and the kitchen sink at this now. He's a proverbial mile behind on the scorecards. Makhmudov, they're all talking to him in the corner. He's definitely feeling the pace, that is for sure. Let's see how this one goes.
The most important, John, 6 minutes of Dave Allen's boxing life.
Absolutely. He needs to find it now. The whole of Doncaster, the whole of Conisbrough, and seemingly the whole of South Yorkshire is locked into this man, hoping he can produce what would be an upset. I know the bookies had it close, but really, if you looked at it logically, Makhmudov was a sizable favourite for this contest, and Allen now has 6 minutes, as Gareth so accurately puts it, to change his life. Right uppercut from Allen, just short of the target. Referee pushes him back. Makhmudov aims a couple of tired-looking shots from range and then drags Allen on. And the referee says, don't pull him. I've told you once already, and I've taken a point off you. And Steve Gray wouldn't be afraid to do that again. Allen is pushed back as the referee splits them once more. Right hand from Makhmudov, who seems to have found a second wind a little bit from somewhere after what was a torrid 9th round for him.
Yeah, he needed to find a second wind, didn't he? There was a big onslaught in that round 9, and his dad, Dave Allen, did he blow a gasket? Because we've not seen a lot from him since then. As he walks forward, his face is looking a red mask, it's bruised. One thing you can guarantee, John, when he wakes up tomorrow, he will be sore.
His head was rocked back by a couple of straight right hands from Makhmudov, as you said that, and the Russian corner are delighted with what their man is producing. He's aiming right hand after right hand, and there's not too much coming back from Allen, and the referee's having a very close look at Dave Allen now as he trudges forward, trying to get into range, aims a right hook and a left hook. The crowd respond, but Makhmudov takes them and throws a right hand of his own, and the Russian corner getting very, very excited here as Allen tries to throw big punches, even now with Makhmudov having dominated 9 of the 10 rounds and most of this round, but Allen is still there, right in his face, looking for a chance to land a big attack in the closing seconds of this 11.
Yeah, he's going to need to find something big with 40 seconds to go. For sure, Makhmudov has been controlling this 11th round, and Dave Allen's face is looking very swollen, red in there at the moment. Both eyes are swelling up, and Makhmudov working well again off the ropes and just pinning Dave Allen down, not allowing Allen to work. 20 seconds and 11th left.
You have to give great credit to Makhmudov, who was all over the place in that 9th round when Allen looked as though he was coming very close to putting him down and establishing a real big advantage. Last few seconds now of this penultimate round, and that is yet another round to Arslanbek Makhmudov, and I'm afraid that Dave Allen, well, it's come to kitchen sink time. He's got to go for it, he's got to throw everything. Let's hear what Jamie Moore's saying to him.
Let me hear it, please.
I know what you're getting here. You're going to win. You need last round. Pardon? Last round. Last round. Okay. Last round. Last round. Last round. Right. Last round. Okay. I don't want you to walk in it. You went perfect when you walk in last time. Now, you just walk in. Half step. You need that little ride. I don't want you taking on the road. I don't want you taking on the road. You need to. Right? Triggers, half step. Come on, yeah? Come on now.
Even at this stage, Jamie Moore saying half steps. Work your way in. Just don't go in straight lines. And now into the final round. And Dave Allen surely has to stop this giant Russian who's dominating and has dominated for much of the fight, apart from a dramatic 9th round. And now Allen is being pushed back onto the ropes on the far side of the ring.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough round for Dave Allen for sure. He's got to find something from somewhere. He's so far behind on the scorecards, and is this all about levels? Dave Allen obviously stepping up, and he's trying, he's giving a big effort, but Makhmudov is the one that's doing all the work here.
Allen with his head into the neck of Makhmudov, who grimaces slightly through that bushy beard. Good right hand from Makhmudov. Allen tries to keep his gloves up, tries to get into the pocket, right. Oh, and ends a big right hand. It was just off target. The crowd responded. They thought he'd landed a bomb for a moment there, Dave Allen, but the Conisborough man didn't quite have it right.
Well, this is where he's got Makhmudov in the corner now. This is where he needs to let his hands go. You can't do all the work to get him there and not let your hands go. He's allowing Makhmudov off the hook.
He wants to find cannonball punches of the like which might once upon a time have bombarded Conisborough Castle. He needs to find real big power shots in the last 90 seconds of the contest. But it's Makhmudov who's aiming chopping blows. Back comes Allen and landed a left-hand counter. Big right hand over the top and another one and a left hook. Makhmudov though turns his man and goes back to centre ring and leans on Allen. Yeah. Just over a minute to go.
Both guys looking tired now. Makhmudov looking desperately tired. Can Dave Allen salvage something from somewhere? With a minute to go, the crowd are roaring for him.
He needs to find something extraordinary, and the referee, I think he's going to take another point away. He is. He's taking a point away from Makhmudov for leaning on, fouling and illegally denying the opportunity for Allen to land punches. Now one more and he'd be disqualified.
Well, it's going to be interesting, isn't it? I don't think we're going to get to that stage with 40 seconds left. Makhmudov teeing off on Dave Allen. Dave Allen comes with a big body shot. He's looking to loop that right hand over. I can see it from here. Here it comes.
30 seconds to go and he lands with the right hand. Taken well though by Makhmudov, and a left hook from Allen. Makhmudov works off the ropes. Allen says something to him. He says, come on, let's have it, let's go for it. Last 20 seconds of the fight. Another looping right hand from Allen. Makhmudov holds on and the referee pushes him back.
10 seconds to go here. The crowd are urging Dave Allen to do something. Allen throws a big shot, and again another one. He misses wildly.
What a great effort from Dave Allen, but he couldn't just find the class to get into where it counted, but he gave it a tremendous effort. Makhmudov was just technically too good, maybe a bit too big, but what an effort from Dave Allen. The crowd, as ever, absolutely loved him. He came across to us to listen in and maybe to hear what we were saying at that moment. I tell you what, Gareth, he gave it absolutely everything.
That's why we were out of our seats applauding him, because it was an incredible physical effort from Dave Allen. If the judges see it in his favour, they've seen the wrong fight. But what he gave tonight, everybody here in this arena, 10,000 people, and us as a quartet, know that Dave Allen could not have given any more. We don't know the result yet, but he's a winner in all our hearts.
Yeah, well, I think we actually do know the result. There can only be one winner, and that was a landslide victory for Arslanbek Makhmudov, for sure. But what we got from Dave Allen is what we always get. He gave his heart and his soul in there. He left it all in the ring, and that's what these paying customers come to see. He just wasn't good enough. Boys, we talked about this before the fight. This is all about levels. Makhmudov has only ever lost to the world's best, the elite fighters. And there, Dave Allen come up short because I don't think he had the technical capabilities that Makhmudov had.
As we said, it was a calculated risk, John. Sorry, it was a calculated risk. But we were to find out tonight, it would either be too much for him or him by 5. Dave's come over to ask us the result.
He gave it such a great effort, and
he's one of us, isn't he? He's one of us.
Well, he's a friend to just about everybody in this arena, and as long as he lives in the Doncaster area, people are going to remember this lad, and he's not going to be short of mates.
Is it fair if I say 10,000?
Listen, this guy has still got a massive future in the sport because he puts bums on seats. That is a fact. He's one of those guys that you just gravitate towards. Look, they've all seen Dave Allen on the end of some heavy punishment for 10 rounds there, and look at them. No one's left the arena. Everyone's cheering him. Everyone's clapping him. He's a man of the people. That is a fact, and we'll see him back in the ring again.
And he still wants us to give him the result because he's going to every corner of the ring asking everyone what the score is because he wants the victory so badly.
Well, he might want it, but I'm afraid to say he ain't going to get it. The referee is drawing the two fighters together now, centre ring, and in just a few moments, we're going to get our Master of Ceremonies announcing how it's going to go. Gareth disappearing off with a microphone in his hand, hopefully to speak to the likes of Jamie Moore. What an awfully emotional week and 2 days he's had. Close friend of Ricky Hatton, Jamie. And I know certainly for me there were echoes of the support that the great little Manchester man used to get.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 12 rounds of action, we go to your judges' scorecards. Bob Williams scores the contest 115-111. John Robert Lane scores the contest 116-110. And Pavel Kardini scores the contest 117-109. All three in favor of your winner by unanimous decision, the Lion, Arslanbek Makhmudov.
For once, I can't argue with any of them cards. I thought they were incredibly fair. One judge giving just 1 round to Dave. I thought he took that last round, and obviously that last round would have been scored then a 10-8 with a point off as well. It was wide. The class was there from Arslanbek Makhmudov. He was pushed like hell with Dave Allen. The thing is, Dave Allen made him work constantly all the way through that fight. He just didn't have the volume or the wherewithal to open up the gaps for himself on the offense.
Yeah.
Defensively, I tell you what, man, it's going to take a sledgehammer to get rid of Dave Allen, isn't it?
I don't think you do get rid of him, that's the point. I mean, he got hit with the biggest shots you're ever going to see in a boxing ring from Arslanbek Makhmudov, who was throwing big right hands from the opening bell through the middle. But what he showed there, Dave, was incredible character and honesty as well. I love the honesty about the guy, you know. He accepted that he just weren't good enough there. But I like everything about Dave Allen, and I think that, you know, that's why he's had the turnout that he's had here today, for sure.
The thing is, gentlemen, before we hear from Dave and his team in a moment, he wasn't expected to win tonight. Anybody that knows boxing wasn't expecting it because of the pedigree of Arslanbek Makhmudov. If he'd have pulled it off, it would have been a massive upset. I don't think he loses too much ground on where he was originally, like talking maybe British title level, something like that. I know that he's been beaten by Fraser Clark, of course, and Fraser Clark and Jamie TKV are going to be fighting very, very soon. But I don't think Dave can't go backwards and challenge at some point for a Lonsdale belt.
Listen, he gets the winner of that. He could go literally off the back of that performance.
We haven't got that microphone, Spencer. I don't know if you can tell. You carry on talking, Sunshine. It's your radio show.
I was just
You were just listening to Arslanbek Makhmudov, were you?
Yeah, I think we was picking up the sound there. But what I was saying was that Dave Allen has the capability for sure to win a British title. That has always been his lifelong dream. He's made no secret about that. We, like you said, we've got Fraser Clark, Jamie TKV boxing for it on October the 25th. No reason why Dave Allen couldn't box the winner of that off the back of that performance.
It just goes to prove, John, that with a little bit of dedication to the training element of this game, he could have achieved maybe that already, the British title.
Well, yeah, but I mean, would people have loved him in the way
Maybe
that
not.
they do had he been so dedicated? You know, I mean, he's a flawed sort of fighter, isn't he? But he's come in here in the latter stages of his career, and he's shown himself by beating Johnny Fisher that he's above that sort of level. And now here he is against a genuinely world-rated fighter, and he gave him one hell of a night.
Gareth, you're ringside at the moment. I know that you've just had a brief chat with Dave. He's addressing the crowd at the moment, but I know that you just had a brief chat with him. What did he say, mate?
He said, I couldn't have done more. Did I do okay? He was actually questioning his performance. And I said, no. I said what was said on the broadcast was that you gave everything. It was very courageous. He said, I gave everything. I did my best in there tonight. And I don't think there's any question about that. And you know how Dave often does question himself. I've got Pat Brown here.
Yep.
Pat, you were in the corner with him tonight. Dave's questioning. He couldn't have given more. He gave everything there, didn't he?
Yeah, he gave everything, and you know, the guy was holding him, he was smothering his work. Dave worked perfectly on the inside, and it was just hard tonight. I thought he should have been deducted another point personally. That's not me just being biased, but every single time he engaged, he wanted to hold Dave, especially in the later rounds when he got tired. That's not me saying Dave wasn't tired, but Dave is a warrior. He should be proud tonight, and I'm certainly proud of him.
He nearly got him out of there in the 9th round, didn't he?
Yeah, he did, and I've felt them shots before, and you know, when he's swinging around like that, it really does take it out of you, and obviously it takes it out of himself as well. He had to regain that energy, but what a warrior tonight Dave Allen is.
Maybe we can try and get a very quick word with Dave. Dave, I wonder if we can get a very quick... Dave? Jamie, you happy with Dave tonight? You gave him a lot of instructions in the corner.
I couldn't be prouder of what he's just gone through. Obviously, we didn't go our way. By the time we got to the stage of the fight where we thought we'd be able to push on, he just didn't have the energy in him to do it. But he had some great moments. He just wasn't able to just pull the final trigger to get him out.
The 9th round, he had a lot of success towards the last few seconds of that 9th round, and Makhmudov looked like he was wobbling out on his feet.
The plan was to get him past 6, drag the energy out of him, and then try and push him off the edge of the cliff. And that's where we thought we was going to get him to, but unfortunately he was too far towards the end of the round for it to make a difference, and probably Dave punched himself out trying to finish him.
Yeah, we could see that. But he proved he's got a different level in him tonight, in spite of losing a lot of the rounds.
Yeah, you know what? We've always known Dave's been a good fighter, and he's never dedicated himself to it like he should do. He has done this time, and he's done us all proud. I told him last week, regardless of the result, I'll always be proud of what you've done in this camp, because you've dedicated yourself like I've never seen before.
And look at the reception for him in the arena tonight. There's only one Dave Allen.
Mate, absolutely unbelievable. That was one of the best atmospheres I've ever been in 30 years in boxing. It was absolutely outrageous.
It's early to ask, but what do you want him to do now?
Well, let him have a rest. So, you know, see whatever he wants to do. I just want him to be happy. That's all I want to do. You know, he's talking about Bridgerweight here now, so we'll see what the future holds, but we don't know.
Bridgerweight, hang on now. He's got to lose 47 pounds or 94 pounds to get to Bridger.
No. He's got to lose about 2 stone. But
2 stone. I'm joking.
But in all honesty, it's not an impossible feat. Listen, that's for the conversation for another day. I'm just so proud of the man he is.
I'm going to try and get a word to them. I'll go back to you guys for now. I'll try and get Dave when he's finished with DAZN.
Brilliant. And I think, listen, I think Jamie's absolutely nailed that. The game plan was the right game plan. We've seen Makhmudov crumble at the back end of fights. OK, it's against elite-level operators, but he has crumbled. To try and get him to that stage and push him off a cliff, it's just... He ran out of gas himself getting him to that point, didn't he?
Listen, that's what we're talking about. We talked about it before the fight. We talked to Mick, myself, and John talks about it. He goes, this is about levels. You know, this is a huge step up for Dave Allen, and our hearts maybe ruled our heads. And, you know, I've said all week, I think that Dave Allen does it because I think he has the staying power and enough to weather the early storms and kick on late. But Makhmudov proved maybe better than I give him credit for, John, that he could stay the rounds and, you know, and sort of navigate his way through the rounds over the 12-round distance.
Well, he deserves credit for the way he came through that 9th round, didn't he? Because he almost went at one stage there. And now I think we can go back to Gareth, because Dave is with him on the ropes there. It's all yours, Gareth.
I am with Dave Allen. Wow. That's what we feel about your performance tonight.
Yeah, I wanted to do more, just didn't have it in me. And that's all right. Everyone watching this, we might not be the best at things, but as long as we try our best. I did try my best. I wanted to throw more. I was saying throw more. I'm trying. Fucking it's hard him. Wow, it hit me bad. Really, really bad a few times. Do you know where I were? I felt like I was in a disco. I was spinning. At one point, I was here and I thought, where the fuck am I? Going around in a circle. It hit me bad. You know what? He's beatable. But he's beatable by the top guys. I'm not the top guys. That's fine. I trained my hardest. Everything Jamie Nige asked. I'm not body beautiful. I was fit as a fiddle. I'm not good enough. I might be a top 50 guy, top 75. I don't know. But I'm not top 20. And that's fine. I've tried my best. I've made everyone proud here, hopefully. And it is what it is.
We've just been saying they'll all leave here tonight and they'll still be singing There's Only One Dave Allen on the way. No, they will be, Dave.
It's all about for me. I said to Jay once to pull me out, I said, mate, leave me in here. I'd rather go out on my back or let me try and turn this around. Last round I had to go, but I was absolutely knackered.
End of the 9th, you nearly had him out of there, though. You must have known that.
Exhausted. The shots I was taking tired me out. Fit as a fiddle, but after 4 or 5 rounds, I thought he's going, I'm going to get him. But then just my tank just went whoop. Empty. I was fucking wounded. Heartbroken, to be honest. Just the atmosphere, I've never seen nothing like it in my life. I nearly cried. I had to really choke it back on the ramp there, and just, I'm absolutely heartbroken. But I'll be back. I want a few more. 34 fights, never been down. Like Rocky Balboa, you never know, might come back and have another comeback again.
That steel chin of I know the result isn't the result you wanted, but as you said, when you walked out tonight, it felt amazing in here. You soaked it up, you walked out, you did it your way, Dave. You've always done it your way, my way, as you say.
Yeah, you know, if you want a trier, that's me. You know, if you want a future world champion, it's Pat Brown. If you want someone handsome and funny, it's me. So it is what it is. I'm not. You know, you got him and Leo Watang here. They're going to be world champions, but we can't all be world champions. But I entertain. I try my best. It is what it is. I've tried. I'll have a few more, hopefully.
Apparently, you're going to lose 2 stone now and fight a bridgerweight. Is that right?
That's possibly the plan. Lose 2 happens with the British title. Johnny Fisher's 3, still bridgerweight. I just want to entertain. I'll do 4 rounds if I can walk out to crowds. I'll keep going.
You'll be very Pappy de la Handsome then. It's great to be around you this week. And it's great to have you come and join us on talkSPORT soon.
Great man, by the way. No matter what anyone says, he's always looked after me. Thank you.
Well, congratulations on a great performance tonight. Cheers, Dave. Back to you guys.
Gareth A Davies with the White Rhino himself. Dave Allen being Dave Allen. Listen, you know I've got to do it. Apologies for the language, but come on, man. What time is it? Near enough 11 o'clock at night, and the man's just had a scrap. He's all over the gaff, isn't he? Sensational from Dave Allen when it comes to effort. They used to grade you at school, didn't they? Effort and attainment. You go maybe an attainment, a C+ tonight, but when it comes to effort, A double star, that mate. He absolutely threw the kitchen sink in it.
Absolutely. I think it was an A double star for everything, if I'm totally honest, because he left it all in there, you know, and that's all he could do. It was all about levels, but he stuck to his game plan and he stuck it out. There would have been many fighters that would have come out of there before that. Trust me, 12 rounds is a long time to be in a ring, and when you're on the end of heavy punishment, like he was from round 1 to round 12, that's a tough place to be. I know that mentally, that is really takes some doing. So you've got to give that guy his flowers for just completing those 12 rounds.
We've got a lot of talent in the country, John, but there's a lot of fighters out there with bags of talent that can't pull crowds like that and create atmospheres like that. There's something quite special here in Sheffield with Dave Allen, isn't there?
It's personality. People absolutely buy into Dave Allen, what he represents. The bloke is a trier. and people respect that. He's a lad who's had his problems with gambling and other things in his life. He's fought and continued, and he's achieved. He's got himself a house in a nice place in Conisbrough. He's got himself an ensuite bathroom now, which he's proud of. He's got himself an indoor cinema room as well, which he can entertain his kids in. And you know, I mean, people, it's ordinary achievements, isn't it? You know, he's not going out and buying a Bentley. He's going out and actually doing something which your average working man would love to be able to do, and that's why they love it.
Can I just say, being with Dave Allen and his team then, and feeling the energy coming off them after what is a bad loss for him in some ways, because he was dominated by Makhmudov, the energy they have as people, the modesty they have, the common touch they have, really reminds me of Ricky Hatton. He's like a heavyweight Ricky Hatton.
Well, that's why they get the success that they get, because trust me, when you're in a gym and it is like a family unit in there, you have to, all that trust goes into the trainer, but you have to give them 100% in return as well. And I think success breeds success. They have done a great job up there. Jamie Moore, Nigel Travis are fantastic trainers, brilliant tacticians as well, but more importantly, they're a family unit in there, and I think that is the best place that Dave's ever been in, not just physically but mentally as well.
But the honesty of them, Adam, tonight, where Dave said straight away, I just wasn't good enough.
Listen, that's refreshing. There's a lot of BS in this game. We're around a lot of BS in this game. There's no BS in that corner. Jamie Moore and Nigel Travis are probably the most honest fellas that you're ever going to likely meet in this game, you know, and Dave Allen's one of those as well. I think there's a real moment of self-reflection there. They know what they are, they know what they can and can't do, and they've had a go at it tonight, and they just fell short.
Can I say Jamie known an atmosphere like it. Well, I've known an atmosphere like it when Ricky Hatton was in the ring in Manchester, and when you heard them singing "There's Only One Dave Allen," and they were absolutely going with him with every single punch, it took me back in time and took me back into the Ricky Hatton era.
Can I just add one other thing, guys? I know we've got to close shortly.
Shot, go on.
The class of Makhmudov afterwards as
very
well
good.
Needs to be spoken about, because he spoke very well. He gave fulsome praise to Dave. He knew it was his crowd, and I thought he was a very classy heavyweight.
Absolutely, and he didn't wilt. He didn't wilt tonight, because Dave threw the kitchen sink at him in 9, bit of 10, bit of 12 as well, and he stayed in there. Fair play to him. I thought he was very, very good for the 12 rounds that we got. We also got a cracker a little earlier on with Junaid Bostan and Bilal Fawaz as well. Fantastic. And we've had a really good night. I think the people of Sheffield will be dancing into the streets wherever they go partying tonight, and they will remember this one for an awful long time. The Dave Allen story is most certainly not over. What comes next? Well, he'll definitely sell out an arena again, there's no doubt about that. Thank you very much for tuning in. All the fallout to this will be in our podcast, which is going to be available on the talkSPORT Boxing YouTube channel. You can get all that as well throughout the course of the week, throughout the course of listening to talkSPORT and subscribing to the podcast and the YouTube channel as well. So thank you very much for joining us on Fight Night Live. We'll catch you next time.
Transfers. They're one of the biggest talking points in football, and the money spent on those transfers is an even bigger debate in this modern era of football where clubs are willing to splash the cash more than ever. However, money can't guarantee a successful signing. In fact, many of the most costly ones go very wrong. So with this in mind, let's go through some of the most expensive transfer flops of all time. A special mention to Enzo Fernandez and Darwin Núñez, who might have been on course to make this list, but at the time of filming, they're still at their current clubs and have time to turn it around, so we'll let them off. At number 10, it's Jack Grealish. I know his die-hard fans will argue this one and insist that being part of that Manchester City treble-winning squad makes his transfer a success. He may have been the star of the celebrations in that 2022-23 season, but has he really proved that forking out £100 million for him was worth it? Many may point the finger at manager Pep Guardiola, who has been accused of stifling Grealish's creativity with his tactics and failing to improve the player, so much so that he wasn't even included in England's Euro 2024 squad. Grealish vowed to use this snub as motivation for the 2024-25 season, but his behaviour off the pitch, paired with him being unable to score in over 1 year and criticism from his manager, only highlighted his flaws. The player has arguably regressed since the move, with our own Jeff Stelling and Ali McCoist questioning his future.
I think he's finished there. I mean, sorry, that's really harsh.
That's harsh.
Jack's a wonderful player. Love watching Jack Grealish.
So do I.
I've never really felt that he actually fitted that well into Pep's master plan.
I'm with you.
Next up, Harry Maguire. Now, for the record, Harry Maguire is not an abysmal player. At Leicester, he was impressive. He's had great moments for England, even making the team of the tournament for the 2022 World Cup. At the time, Liverpool were breaking the bank with £75 million for Virgil van Dijk, so £80 million for Maguire didn't seem too steep. However, as time has gone on, it's safe to say the careers of these two players have gone in totally different directions. Some of the abuse Maguire has received has been horrendous and unacceptable, so you must admire his resilience, which is something talkSPORT's Ali McCoist has spoken about.
I've got so much respect for Harry Maguire. I really have, Jeff. I just think, I mean, the amount of abuse he takes, a heck of a lot of it, for me, totally unjustified.
Yeah, I agree.
And he just goes about his business, goes about his work. He doesn't complain. He just looks to me like a model pro.
Despite a resurgence under Ruben Amorim at Man United that has resulted in a 1-year extension of his contract, overall, it's not unfair to say that his time with the Red Devils has been inconsistent and disappointing. Sticking with Manchester United, at number 8 on this list is Paul Pogba. They parted ways with the player in 2012 as he headed to Juventus for nothing, and 10 years later, they did the exact same thing after bringing him back for a then record for the highest transfer fee at £89.4 million plus bonuses. Upon his return, fans were expecting world-class talent, and whilst there were glimpses of this, the player was never consistent and faced a lot of criticism. There were also rising tensions between the player and manager Jose Mourinho, and despite a revival under new manager Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, injuries and dips in form led to continued questions over his future. After 6 seasons, despite a Europa League trophy and a Carabao Cup, he headed back to Juventus for free. At the time of filming, the player is without a club after receiving a doping ban, and believe it or not, there were rumours of a 3rd stint at Old Trafford, something fans were not having.
Fergie wasn't wrong when he got rid of him as a teenager because he demanded first team.
Yep.
He went to Juventus, had a few good seasons. United paid, what, 89, 90 million for him? And what did he do? He had 1 good season only. After that, he threw every manager under the bus.
Next up, it's Nicolas Pepe. Arsenal signed the player for a then club record fee of £72 million. He was seen as a real talent arriving from Lille. Fans had high expectations. However, despite a purple patch at the end of the 2020-21 campaign that did see him score 16 goals for Arsenal that season, he was a shadow of the impressive winger we saw in France, and there were questions over his ability to stay consistent.
Let's see it over the course of a season, because I am yet to be convinced
And let's remember, he's been there a couple of years, so he's had plenty of time to show this form.
In the end, he joined Trabzonspor for nothing, even though he still had a year left on his contract, a demonstration of just how desperate they were to get rid of him. In 6th place, it is Zlatan Ibrahimovic. Now, of course, Zlatan is a legend of the game. However, even he doesn't escape this list after his move to Barcelona was ranked as one of the most disastrous at that time. Barcelona didn't just pay Inter Milan £40 million for the player in 2009, but they also handed over Samuel Eto'o, who was one of the stars of their treble-winning season. And guess what? The decision came back to bite them, as the player then helped Inter knock Barcelona out of the Champions League the following season, as the Italian side went on to win a treble. Meanwhile, for Zlatan, he did score 21 goals in all competitions in his first season, but things started to unravel as he was embroiled in a huge clash with his then manager Pep Guardiola, something he spoke about with Piers Morgan not that long ago.
Fourth game, I bring my Ferrari, and I bring the Enzo Ferrari, and I knew it would create another situation. So I parked the car in front of his office. So you with me, I with you. That was my motto.
You parked it in front of his office?
In front of his office. I said, this is, you want to play with fire, I will bring you fire, but I will burn you. But obviously he's the coach, because what punish most the player if he doesn't play, because obviously you want to play, but the boss is the coach. But in that moment, I understood this will not be okay, because there is
How
something.
did he react to you parking your Ferrari outside?
He would not say nothing to me, because he would avoid me.
It's safe to say, with the personality clash between player and manager, Barcelona was not the right fit. The club loaned him to AC Milan for the 2010-11 season. He signed a 4-year deal and, believe it or not, has never really made up with Pep. Now, Barcelona fans are allowed to feel a little irritated by our next name, Antoine Griezmann. The Atletico Madrid player was linked with Barcelona for months after the Catalan club were reported to FIFA over an alleged illegal approach for Griezmann in December 2017. He eventually, after openly flirting with the move, rejected Barcelona and signed a contract extension with his Madrid team. Barcelona fans wanted nothing to do with him, but the club then went back in for him the following year in the summer of 2019, agreeing to pay his £107 million buyout clause in his contract. He did have some good moments with the club, but there was a clear decline in his form. And guess what? By the summer of 2021, he returned to Atletico Madrid on a 1-year loan with the option to extend the loan by a further year, which they triggered. To shed some more light on this absolute disaster is European football expert Andy Brassel.
It was never really going to work. And I suppose you can say that if you look at the raw numbers, he did okay. But the problem was, and it's an obvious problem, but one that no one really clocked at the beginning. He is someone who the team needs to run around, or needs the team to run around him. And that was never going to be the case with Leo Messi there. He became a subordinate to Leo Messi.
I previously mentioned that Barcelona paid Atletico Madrid over £100 million for Griezmann, but how did they use that money? They bought their own transfer flop in João Felix. The Benfica player had a few offers on the table, but Atleti was the chosen club with a £130 million price tag. Felix was supposed to be the next big thing, a free-spirited attacker who would reinvent the way that a solid defensive Atleti would play, but it never seemed like a good fit, whether it was injuries or just poor performances. He had a few purple patches, but after some fallings out with manager Diego Simeone, there were whispers of a move away. The player moved in January 2023 to Premier League club Chelsea on loan, where he managed 4 goals. He then had a flop loan stint at Barcelona, yet Chelsea inexplicably decided to re-sign him on a permanent basis in 2024 for £42 million plus add-ons, which talkSPORT questioned.
The last thing he needs is just to have been moved on, because Atletico have been desperate to move him on, and someone to take him as part of another deal. Chelsea have really got to want him.
At number 3, let's go back to Manchester United with Antony. After 2 full seasons at Ajax, several top European teams expressed an interest in signing the player, but Manchester United got the deal done for £82 million. Yes, the player was moving to the Premier League, which is a big jump, but he would be playing under the same manager he had at Ajax, Erik ten Hag. However, it was a disaster. It didn't take long for fans to realise that apart from a few flicks and tricks, there was little he could offer the team. At talkSPORT, he did face a lot of criticism.
Yeah, I was watching him miss from 2 yards with the kids the other night against Southampton, and I joked that I'd scored more goals for Manchester United this season than he has, but it wasn't much of a joke. He's only scored 1, and that was against Barnsley in a drubbing in the EFL Cup. Pound for pound, has there been a worse Premier League signing ever than Anthony.
At the time of filming, the problem for United is that they've yet to make any money back on the Brazil international, as they're still paying a significant chunk of his wages whilst he spends the rest of the 2024-25 campaign on loan to Real Betis, who are under no obligation to buy. Now, Romelu Lukaku could be on this list twice, but for now, let's focus on his move from Inter Milan to Chelsea in 2021, not his time at Man United. His return to Chelsea for a reported club record fee at the time of £97.5 million was supposed to be about unfinished business after failing to score once during his previous stint at the club. However, despite finishing as the club's top goalscorer in the 2021-22 season, it didn't end well. 15 goals in 44 appearances was dismal given the club's record investment. Tie that in with an unsanctioned interview with Sky Sports Italia midway through the season where he stated he was not happy with the club, he never really recovered and faced the wrath of talkSPORT presenter Rory Jennings.
I think it's interesting with Romelu Lukaku, actually. If you were to think about the worst Premier League signings of all time.
Was it that bad?
Oh, it was that bad. It was that bad on the pitch, but it was also that bad in the way that he conducted himself.
Lukaku returned to Inter Milan on loan in the summer of 2022. He then went on loan to Roma for 1 year after enraging Inter fans when he was negotiating with Juventus behind the club's back. The move didn't work, so Roma was the answer, and the following season he made a permanent move to Napoli. And finally, it's Felipe Coutinho. Barcelona had just been forced to sell Neymar to Paris Saint-Germain for a world record fee, so had a whopping £200 million burning a hole in their pockets, and they were getting desperate. They signed Ousmane Dembele that summer for an inflated £90 million, then spent the rest on Liverpool's Felipe Coutinho, who was doing well at Anfield, but was maybe a luxury in Jurgen Klopp's blossoming attack that had Mane, Salah and Firmino up top. Coutinho's most significant contribution during his 4 years on the books at Barca was scoring 2 goals against them whilst he was on loan to Bayern Munich in 2020. Eventually, they offloaded him to Aston Villa for £17 million in 2022. Despite being impressive at Liverpool, talkSPORT's Tony Cascarino never really rated the player.
I never bought into how some Liverpool fans thought he was an absolute messiah for Liverpool, is Coutinho.
Special mentions go to Barcelona's aforementioned signing of Ousmane Dembele and Real Madrid spending £85 million on Eden Hazard. We didn't include them in the list as their main issues were injuries, plus Dembele is now backfiring on all cylinders, so maybe Barcelona were on the right page trying to sign him. Let us know your thoughts on the list. Thanks for joining me, and don't forget you can get all the latest football news here on talkSPORT.
Hello and welcome to the talkSPORT Cup, where fans from across the country battle it out in a test of football trivia. We started with a pair of fans from each of the top 64 clubs in the country, but only